Get nasty on a Wednesday. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Jamie Rivers and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you, especially ahead of this Thanksgiving weekend that we're approaching here. No Carey Davis. Carey took some time off to be with his family, so we wish Carey a happy Thanksgiving. But Jamie, we got Blues hockey to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
Tonight, you've got Game 2 for Jim Montgomery as the head coach of your St. Louis Blues. And for Jordan Binnington, big night. He goes for a franchise record tonight. What do we need to know about Jordan Binnington and the special achievement that he could get tonight?
Well, obviously, looking back at some of the names that have been goaltenders in Blues franchise history. I mean, you got Grant Fuhr, you got Mike Liut, Jake Allen, some really big names. And Jordan Binnington has the opportunity with his next win to become the winningest goaltender of all time in franchise history. And I don't think that that's something that you say lightly. I mean, you look at the path that Jordan Binnington had to take to get to this point. I mean, he was the forgotten man. We all know the story. He literally was playing for the Bruins farm team for a year in the American Hockey League because the Blues didn't have a roster spot for him. And so he battled his way back. And then, as the story goes, he had a game in San Antonio where he felt really good. He took it upon himself to text Bill Armstrong, the assistant GM, and he basically said, "I'm ready." So, when you go through all of that, and now you're at a spot here with the Blues where he will. I mean, it's just a matter of time when he does become the winningest goalie of all time. I mean, it's quite an accomplishment. I mean, what do you guys think?
Oh, I think this story is absolutely remarkable. And it's one, we've joked about this before. The 2019 Blues, if they were a Disney-themed sports movie, it would have never gotten made. They'd be like, nah, this is too far-fetched. Like, really? You're behind at the All-Star break. You're gonna lean on a goalie that you once borrowed to somebody. Yeah, okay, this is just dumb. But that's exactly what happened. And Jordan Binnington has been one of my favorite players to cover on these airwaves. The personality is unique. Much more than that, he also, and I really appreciate when anybody, not just an athlete, but anybody goes through struggles. I mean, we were talking about Jordan Binnington. He's going to be worth the contract. Will they have to move on from him? They get a couple of young goaltenders, throughout the years, whether it's Ville Husso or, whoever that. Can he hang on to the spot? And he battled through adversity to almost or nearly or will become the winningest goaltender in Blues history. It's absolutely remarkable. It's a great story.
And the thing for me, man, I just respect the way that he came into the league. Some players, they just get called up and it is what it is, or they don't get called up.
Yeah.
And to me, the part that I respect is that he took it into his own hands. The whole not playing somewhere. Bill Armstrong, who used to work for the Blues, talked about Binnington texting him saying, "I'm ready. Mm-hmm. I'm ready to go." And then they bring him up, and then the rest is history. Like, I respect that. He put it in his own hands, and he's made the most of it.
Yeah, certainly. All right, so now you got Jim Montgomery, too, who was obviously the other storyline tonight. He goes into Game 2. And we spent a lot of time talking about yesterday whether or not it was if you're seeing, like, the coach bump. But ultimately, the Blues are going to decide that. We'll find out. Tonight, you got a very good Devils squad. I almost like the fact, Jamie, that you, right away, under Jim Montgomery, you're facing the Rangers, you're facing the Devils. The game the other night was pristine, in my opinion. The way that they played, the pressure they put on the Rangers, the mistakes that they didn't make, the mistakes they took advantage of, everything was perfect. This Devils team tonight is legit, as you guys know. And I like the fact that they're going to be tested once again by a quality opponent. Because I think that we'll move on quickly from this is just the new coach bump. The more that they beat up on good teams. it's not imperative. You know, they passed their first test, Jamie. But if they go out there tonight and they win 3-2, or maybe the Devils just kind of get them in the end, but they play another solid 3 periods, this thing could turn around quickly for the Blues.
I think that's the biggest thing right there is, what does it look like? You know, because you can win a game and look terrible and everybody thinks, oh, that's a big win. Internally, you know, we got lucky.
Right.
And we got a result we didn't deserve. And there's games where you play hard, you play the right way, and you don't win. I mean, it's the NHL. On any given night, somebody can get a good bounce. What should miss the net goes off another guy's skate, and all of a sudden you're down by 1 and you lose the game. Mm-hmm. For me, it's what does it look like? Does it look like the team that the other night in Madison Square Garden were skating? I mean, everybody was skating hard, fast, getting in on the forecheck, taking away time and space, putting several pucks to the net, bodies to the net, sticking together. Everything we saw on Saturday night, or rather, sorry, on Monday night, we have to see again. That's the standard now. So, like, if I'm Jim Montgomery, it's pretty easy. I've got a great reference point. Anytime that something goes sideways, you've got video. Remember this night? Remember how you played here? Remember the decision you made here?
Do that.
Remember how well we played as a unit? Like, this is the standard now. And so I'm thrilled that they had a great game the other night because, yeah, now you have a standard that's set, and everybody knows it. Coaching staff, players, fans, we all saw it with our own eyes. Mm-hmm. So now you've got the Devils, who are one heck of a team. This is going to be a big test for the Blues here to end out this road trip. And let's be honest, after that, they got a big game again on Saturday, and then they hit the road for 10 days. And those Western Canadian teams where it used to be mop-up city, used to be fun. Go out to Winnipeg, get 2 points. 2 and 4 points in Alberta with Edmonton and Calgary. Vancouver sucks, too. We're going to take 2 points out there. Yeah. Not anymore.
No.
Not anymore. That road trip is going to be one heck of a test for the St. Louis Blues. So, hey, Monty, congratulations. You're a head coach again in the NHL. You're back home in St. Louis where you belong. Mm-hmm. But your first couple weeks is going to be an absolute gauntlet.
Yeah, you got work to do. Absolutely. That Winnipeg team looks fantastic. Vancouver, correct me if I'm wrong, Vancouver picked up the win last night in Boston, right?
I believe so.
I think Vancouver pulled off
Calgary is like
2-0.
the surprise team of the whole friggin' conference right now.
Vancouver won 2-0 in Boston last night. So you're right. Edmonton, we know about their scoring capabilities. So yeah, this is a nice test. You start off on the east side, East Coast, if you're Jim Montgomery, a conference that you know well after the last couple of years, but you're not taking over a pristine product right now. It is a bit of a project. However, we have seen it. There is more than enough to work with, including tonight when you turn to Jordan Binnington after Joel Hofer got the start against the Rangers. You've got excellent goaltending. When everybody's healthy, the blue liners are the arrows pointing up with this defense. If you can generate more scoring, and if you can if you just clean up the special teams, the Blues are going to get back in that wild card mix. They're not too far off. Like there's no need to slap lipstick on a pig here, and that's not what I'm doing. I really believe that after what I saw the other night, if it's legit, I do think that this team can get back on track very quickly. But like you said, you go out west and you get spanked by these Canadian teams, the good vibes are going to end quickly.
Yeah, it's a test for the players, the coaching staff, and Monty. I mean, look, he's come on board. He took over a team that had some adversity. They're not winning a lot of games recently. And, he comes in and wins. So as the head coach right now of the Blues, he has not had to deal with adversity. And the players have not had to deal with adversity under Jim Montgomery. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is, what if you go on a 2 or 3 game skid? Like, what does it look like? Is the honeymoon over? This head coach, all of a sudden, who likes to pat guys on the back and cheer them up and pump them up, is he still doing that? Or is he now, having the stare down or the have a seat on the bench or, hey, you're not dressed tonight? Like, yeah. A lot of things can change. I don't think Monty's going to change his behavior. I don't think he'll change the way he coaches by any means. I just mean that players have to continue to bring their A game. And when adversity's there, you can't pout, you can't sulk, you can't be down on yourself. And I think the best thing that Monty can do during this next month, I'll say a month because there's a lot of hockey that you're going to play here. During the next month, Monty should have, 4 or 5 game segments at a time and focus on winning the segments. In the 5-game segment, win 3. And so we're focusing on winning 3 games here, and that's how you can try to build their small goals for the team, but at the same time, they're goals that you can accomplish. It's not like, hey, we got to win 4 out of 5. We're going to win 5 out of 5, and so much pressure that when you lose a game, you're just like down in the dumps.
Right.
No, we got to win 3 out of the next 5 games. That's not impossible. I think that would be a good strategy.
So tonight we'll have the Blues and Devils pregame for you right here on 101 ESPN and the Blues Radio Network at 5 o'clock. If you're a hockey fan, we've got a treat for you. Jincy Roese, previously Jincy Dunn, of Ottawa in the PWHL, St. Louis native, represented the U.S. women's American hockey team in the 2022 Winter Olympics. She's going to join us next. Talk a little bit about hockey, her upbringing here in St. Louis, out in O'Fallon, in a proud hockey family. We'll talk to her about what it means to be a captain, too, in various spots. Jincy Roese next on 101 ESPN.
Skip the malls here this holiday season. It's Black Friday week, and Johnny Londoff Chevrolet, they've got huge savings going on all month long. They're giving thanks this year with unbelievable savings on every vehicle on their lot. Just head over to one of their locations. They've got 2 great locations now. The original location located in Florissant, Missouri, and the new Londoff Autoplex out there in St. Peter's, right off of Highway 70. Their entire pre-owned inventory of cars, trucks, SUVs are priced to sell with financing for everyone, no matter what your credit situation is. If you or anyone you know is in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, right now is the time to buy. Don't wait for Black Friday. Save big today. Get in there today. Get in there after Black Friday. The whole month, they're going to have great savings going on. They always have the best prices. And don't forget that nobody will give you more for your trade-in. That's not trade assistance or value-added pricing. That's cash. Cash for your trade-in, and that's a Londoff guarantee. So please check them out at either location. Tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in. I'd love to hear that. Or you can look them up online. They got lots of things there. All their inventory is located online. Just visit Londoff.com or LondoffAutoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Johnny Londoff Chevrolet.
With former Blues defenseman Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter, the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. And let's head to the Thompson and Callier phone line. We're joined by Jincy Roese, St. Louis native, American professional ice hockey player for the Ottawa Charge of the Professional Women's Hockey League, and proud representative as well of the U.S. Women's National Ice Hockey Team, represented the U.S. in the 2022 Winter Olympics. Proud hockey family, of course, if you know the last name Dunn, Jincy Roese, now joins us here in the Fast Lane. Jincy, thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure.
Yeah, Jincy, I noticed the last name, obviously Rose. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Your middle name is also Rose, is it not?
It's Rose, yes. So it's a bit of it's repetitive.
Different spellings,
that's
all right?
Great.
Sorry, say that again?
Different spellings for Rose, though.
Yes. My husband spells his name Roese. So it's a small change, but enough to be a pain in the neck when it comes to identification.
Sure.
Well, Jins, I want to go back a little bit here before we talk about where you're at now and all the exciting stuff going on. Did you ever think when you started playing hockey in St. Louis that, one, you'd be playing professional hockey, two, you'd make an Olympic team, and three, there would be a professional women's hockey league playing a game at the Enterprise Center?
Oh, gosh, no. I never thought that. I don't even think I thought that up through college because I was trying to go the med school route, and looking back on that, it would have been terrible. It would have been a terrible idea. But no, it wasn't even until it wasn't even post college for me that a league came together. So growing up, I knew the Olympics is something I wanted to pursue, but I mean, this is beyond my wildest dreams. I couldn't have even thought to dream this up.
Jincy, when I was going through, updating some of the, things that you've been a part of and just kind of updating myself on your resume, one of the things that really stood out to me is captain. You have been a leader on virtually every team that you've been a part of. What does it mean to lead to be a captain or be a leader on any team that you prepare for? Because we talk so much about leadership. What does it mean to you to be a captain or a leader?
Yeah, I think really to take, I think servant leadership is kind of the style that I identify with the most, and really to kind of just put myself at the lowest place to see what are the needs around me, what do these players need to be successful, and how can I make them successful. And I think, all along, I'm having my best days when the people around me are having their best days. And so that's just always been something, just taking a genuine interest in people. Again, seeing what they need, how can I lift them up? Because it's about the team, for me, it's about them. And I think that brings out the best version of myself too. And, I learned that from a very early age, being one of 6 kids, especially one of the older kids, is, can I step back and how can I elevate those around me?
Well, yeah, you've always been a leader, Jincy, and you've always worked extremely hard, too, and that's another great quality of yours. For our listeners who maybe aren't familiar with the PWHL just yet, how many teams are there in the league currently?
There's 6 teams in the league, 3 in U.S. and 3 in Canada. They're already talking about potentially expansion for 2 more teams next year, so it's growing quite quick.
So how did you end up in my hometown of Ottawa? Was there some kind of a draft, or were they able to sign free agents, or was it like a mix of both?
Yeah, so 2 years ago was the first PWHL draft, and you had to declare for the draft if you wanted to play in the league, and kind of from there you had no idea what was going on. So each team got to sign 3 players that didn't go into the draft. So they basically got their pick of who they wanted, and then everyone else was in the draft. And so I didn't know. I was hoping maybe I'd go to New York, considering that's where I live full time with my husband. But Ottawa reached out, and they really wanted me. And it was kind of those, because we're not making crazy salaries right now, teams will ask, do you have an interest in coming here? And so they wanted me. They asked if I'd be interested, and I said, heck yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Now, where do players predominantly come from? Are they college players? Because it's not in my opinion, I don't know this yet, but I don't believe there's a specific feeder system yet for the PWHL. So where do most of the players come from?
Yeah, so most of our players right now are actually post-grad players out of college. And so before we had the PWHL, we had the national teams, and we had what was the PHF. There was 2 leagues, PHF and PWHPA. And essentially the PHF folded, And all the players from that league and the PWHPA came together to join the PWHL. So that was the first round of draft with all of those post-grad players and players that were like real fresh out of college. There wasn't too many that declared for the draft, though. This year was actually the first year that post-grad players that just graduated from college joined the draft. So now we're going to get more and more of our players for college, but right now I would say we have a bit of an older league from girls that have kind of stuck around the game trying to get a league like this up and going.
Jincy Roese joins us right now in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jincy plays for Ottawa on the PWHL, O'Fallon native here in St. Louis. And apparently, Jincy, I heard that you had, at least at one point, you've worked with our guy, Jamie Rivers. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so I only know Jamie, of course, as the former hockey player and total absolute knucklehead. What is Jamie like as a coach, though?
Oh, my gosh. He was great. I mean, I think I look back to those years. I was a young teenager, and those are really pivotal years in my career. I can remember just walking the line. Like, to this day, when I'm walking the line, I kind of go back to those, like, original lessons that Jamie taught me, which I was literally thinking that today, walking the line. So he was a great coach for me. He really broke down the game. I think under him, my skill kind of built at a rate faster than my peers. So I feel like I was very lucky, and I got to work for him, too. So I got to know Jamie very well.
Yeah, you sure have, and you're always one of my favorites. I do know that for sure. You're so much fun to work with. And like I said earlier, it's just how hard you worked and just your endless desire to get to the next level, get to that Olympic team, and get to a college team. It was always impressive, Jincy. And it's quite honestly, you and your family, and you in particular right now, should be the blueprint for all those young girls in St. Louis right now who are aspiring to be in the PWHL one day. How excited are you to get the opportunity to play a game in St. Louis in front of friends, family? I mean, everybody you grew up around. Like, I know your parents, and you've got to be thrilled that they're going to have a chance to see you in St. Louis, but how excited are you?
Oh, I'm so thrilled. Yeah, parents are definitely thrilled because for once they don't have to travel out of the state for one of their kids' games. But I'm so thrilled. I'm so thrilled for the community. I'm especially thrilled for all the youth girls teams who I don't really think they get to see much of like the professional women's game in St. Louis. So I'm really glad that we're going to be front and center and they get to see that up close. It's going to be so fun for them. And then they just get to dream big when they see that. So it's so special, kind of a full circle moment that I get to go back and kind of be in that game for those girls. I'm really, really excited for them. So very special.
All right. So then for our listeners now, who I'm sure people are intrigued to say the least, when is the game here at Enterprise? Who is Ottawa playing against that night?
We are playing against Boston. I believe the game is March 29th. I could be wrong. I'm really bad with dates, but I believe it's March 29th against Boston.
It
at
is.
the Enterprise Center.
Yep, you nailed it, Jincy. We got our crack team on it too. So Marsh gave us the thumbs up. It is March 29th. So Jincy, we're looking forward to that. Thank you so much for representing St. Louis like you have and representing your family as well. I know your family is very proud, and Jamie certainly is proud as a former coach and a boss as well. So we appreciate you coming on our show, and best of luck moving forward.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Happy Thanksgiving as well, Jincy.
Thank you, too.
Thank you. Jamie, just when I asked her about being a captain and being a leader, what an answer she gave. To talk about, she goes, I put my, and I'll paraphrase here because I can't say it as well as she did, but Jamie, she said, I want to put myself kind of in, basically in everybody's shoes. I want to put myself in the lowest common, area where I can look to see what other people need from me. She didn't talk about hockey. She didn't talk about, being a role model or anything. She talked about basically walking in her teammates' shoes so that she understood what they need. I don't know if I could say it any better. I don't know if I could write the definition of leader any better than what she said. That's phenomenal.
Yeah. It is. And what's funny, Anthony? It's not surprising. It's just not. Like, this kid growing up, the family, first of all, just talk about the entire Dunn family. They're amazing people, all of them. Just great friends, but great parents, great family members. And she was brought up the right way to think of others. And this is what she's always done. And so to see her now having the success that she's having, I mean, it's amazing to see it. It's just not surprising for me. And, she continues to evolve, and now she's a wife and a mom and, like, all of these things. Now she will be able to be a leader in her own home, not just at the locker room or at the rink and things like that. But I'm telling you, man, this young lady is so impressive. She was the measuring stick for me for a lot of hockey players. I mean, even the boy hockey players after, like, they needed to live up to what the standard that she had set. And she's always been such an awesome person, too. Hard worker as an employee. Just can't say enough great things about her. I'm excited that she gets this chance to play at Enterprise. So hopefully a lot of people here locally will get out there March 29th. They're playing
Boston. Yep. I think we lost Jamie there. Yeah, they are. They're playing Boston. So go out, see her at the Enterprise Center. Jamie, you back? You good? No. All right. That's all right. Jamie, we're dealing with some technical stuff here. Jamie's on the road. Of course, he'll be with us until 3 o'clock. But anyways, Jincy Dunn, now Jincy Roese, phenomenal. And we only say Jincy Dunn because a lot of people probably recognize the Dunn name. She's got several brothers and sisters. They all play hockey at some level. I mean, it's a great family to follow here in St. Louis. Jamie, you got any more to say before we move on?
I don't know where I cut off.
That's all right. They're going to play Boston
I'll just say
on March
she's a great
29th.
kid, great player, great family.
There you go. That's Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Our guy Marsh posed a question about athletes and motivation that we found interesting. So Marsh is going to pose that question to you next on 101 ESPN.
For food, fun, and lots of great people, head over to Twin Peaks over in Maplewood. They have a tremendous menu, whether it's just some appetizers that you want. They've got great appetizers. The little mini beef tacos are fantastic. The burgers are legendary. They're huge. You're going to love them. And, of course, the new quesabirria tacos are great with that dipping sauce. You're going to want to order 2 or 3 orders of these things. They're so good. And, of course, wash all of that down with a 29-degree man-sized draft. They've got ice-cold beer. It's so good. And they got a great selection of bourbons. They got some bourbon stuff coming up here soon where they're going to have a couple of special events. So check that out online, of course. And they're always rolling out new food each month and asking people what they like, what they don't like. And just they want to always make sure that they're giving people their best. And they've also got the bar filled with TVs to watch any sporting event you want, anytime you want at all. And all of that is located over there at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Jordan Binnington goes for the franchise record for wins tonight in New Jersey as the Blues take on the New Jersey Devils. Pregame for that one starts at 5 o'clock tonight. Puck drop is at 6. Of course, you can catch all the action right here on 101 ESPN. We just got done talking with Jincy Roese of the PWHL. If you missed that interview or if you miss anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the Schaefer Door Company 101 ESPN mobile app. It is free, so go download it. Head to the podcast page and you'll catch all of our interviews and full shows there. And it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
So the Blues obviously just hired Jim Montgomery. They parted ways with Drew Bannister. And one of the topics of conversations that we've had is about athletes and coaching and whether or not professional athletes kind of need that motivation from their coaching. And Marsh, this led you to kind of pose a question to Jamie and I that we wanted to bring to the listener as well.
Yeah, I've been having a spirited debate, I'd say, with some of my friends. And, Carey has mentioned multiple times about the players needing to execute. And, hey, man, you're a professional athlete. Like, you should want to go out there and play good and give a full effort. And you kind of just mentioned the question, but, should professional athletes need a good head coach to motivate them? I think you look at the situation in Anaheim right now, if we want to stick with the NHL, I don't necessarily think that they love their coach in this particular instance. And, you're seeing that on the ice. And I'm sure there's other examples that I could bring up throughout the variety of sports. But Jamie, obviously you've been in a locker room. You've played for a coach that you did not like. Like, what is that? What'd you say?
A couple.
Yeah, a couple. Like, what is that like? Like, do you still want to go out there and give your full effort? Because those coaches that you don't particularly like, they are Stanley Cup winning coaches. So what does that dynamic look like in the locker room?
Okay, so for me, and maybe it's just because I'm a psychopath, which is always in play, but I went out every single day at practice and games, and I wanted to stick it where the sun don't shine for those coaches. Mm-hmm. Like, every day, and no matter how little they played me, how many times I got scratched, how many video sessions they broke me down and tried to embarrass me and things like that, I didn't care. Because the next day I was going to stick it where the sun don't shine so that, my teammates know what's going on. Everybody sees it from the outside that a coach has either got it out for you or he's... players know who the coaches have as whipping boys and who they don't. And I just always wanted to prove to my teammates, don't worry, I'm here for you guys. I'm never going to give up no matter how bad these guys are or how they treat me. So, but that was my thought process. And as I got older, I got smarter and, learned how to channel that intensity a little better rather than just lashing out or fighting back or pushing back against whatever the coach was trying to get through. But the only other thing I can compare it to is everybody has bosses and coaches. We always isolate it to athletes. What's it like to have a coach you didn't like? Okay, let me do this. What's it like to have a boss you don't like? Because they're out there, and somebody I know the text line probably going to be like, well, yeah, but they're paid lots of money. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll go down to a law firm right now, and where there's lawyers that are making 6 figures plus, whatever it is, and they don't like their boss.
Right.
So does that alter their performance? Do they go to the courtroom and lose a case on purpose because they don't like their boss? No. Doctors, same thing. And I'm using high-priced jobs right now because that's what everybody always goes to. Well, they're paid a lot of money, so too bad.
Right.
Okay, fine. But if we want to whittle it down, it could be anybody at any job. And if you have pride in what you're doing and you care about the company or your teammates, other coworkers, you go to work every day, you suck it up, and you do the best job you can, and you hope that one day the coach recognizes or the boss recognizes that your work is effective and, that they like you. And if not, at some point the boss/coach will get removed.
Yeah.
Because he has a boss or he has a GM above them. Like, it's just the way it works. Maybe that's simplifying it a lot, Anthony. I don't know, but I feel like that's it.
No, I don't think you're simplifying it, Jamie. I think you're kind of speaking the truth about it. We're all human beings. We're all motivated by different things. Now, ultimately, we all have to have personal pride in what we're doing. We all have to have personal pride in whatever job that we have, like giving it our all. Let's be honest, though. We have all worked for companies that suck the life out of us, and we've all worked for companies that we want to give more to. Or let's move off the company thing. Let's go to maybe a school situation.
Yeah,
your teachers.
Teacher, yeah.
Are you a better student or a worse student with an average teacher? You're probably the same. You are who you are. You're going to put in the same amount of work. Whatever. If you're a bad student, you're probably going to be a bad student with the average teacher. If you're a good student, you're probably going to be motivated enough to be a good student. But think about the times when you've had a really great teacher. Whether it's grade school, middle school, high school, college, professor. You almost don't want to fail them. You don't want to let them down because they show an interest in you. Mm-hmm. So can a coach, a teacher, a boss extract more out of you? I don't think there's any question about it. Just like, conversely, if you got a bad teacher, a bad coach, a bad boss, you find the motivation kind of gets sucked out of you. Again, you got to have personal pride. You still got to do it. You still got to do your job. You're still getting a paycheck and all that. You can't skip out. You can't be lazy. But we're all human beings. We all have a ceiling and a floor. And that ceiling, a lot of times, can get extracted by a really good coach, boss, or teacher. That's the way I look at it.
Jamie, do you believe that when you were playing, the mindset of a player was completely different than what we're seeing now out of players? Whereas, like you said, yeah, I'm going to try and stick it where the sun don't shine. Like, if people that watch the movie Miracle and know the story of like the 1980 United States men's hockey team, they know that Coach Herb Brooks was trying to get basically everyone to hate him so they would come together as a team because they all hated each other. Like, is that just different now?
Yeah, so much has changed, and it's tough because there's a portion of what used to happen that I think is still valuable. I do. I think that accountability is so important. And now coaches hold players accountable differently in these times. But back then, it's not that you got embarrassed, but you got called out. Mm-hmm. And the mentality of the athlete is you don't want to be called out in front of your teammates or anybody for that matter. But then the flip side of it, there's sometimes that you were just yelled at and not given the solution either.
Right.
So you're sitting there like, yeah, okay, so I stink tonight. That was an awful period, but I don't really know what I'm doing wrong, so I'm just going to go out there and keep playing and hope he doesn't get mad again.
Right. Which is no way to play.
Right. Whereas today, the player craves so much more information. Like, we see it all the time. The players got iPads on the bench, and the coach is like going over plays with them right there, like in real time. Mm-hmm. So, not only has the coaching changed, the game overall has changed. The access to statistics, to video, to all that stuff is way more prevalent. And we never had it, so it's a thing now that people can use. I still think that it's okay though to have a coach that gives you all the information, the rah-rah, and build you up. But every now and then, a kick in the pants, man.
Yeah.
I don't hate the idea of it. I think that it's good. I think that players should know that I'm not meeting expectations right now, and he has given me all the information, and he has helped me, and now he's mad at me, and I should be embarrassed, and I should go play harder for this guy.
Have you seen the videos of Dan Hurley that have been coming out?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. This guy's a little much, guys. I'm not going to...
He is a little much, but, like, that goes to show sometimes you might need that because they've won 2 national championships under him.
Yep. Pat Riley calls it the disease of me.
We'll see if they win it again this year, though.
Yeah. Well, it's early though, right? Like now, this is when you do it, right?
Well, Anthony, I'll take the field. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
We good?
Yeah, all right. All right.
After seeing some of the stuff about him come out, there's no way he could have coached the Lakers.
Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine him and LeBron?
Yeah.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been for us, for sure. Yeah. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Jamie's last segment. So we got keys to victory tonight for the Blues over the Devils, and we'll light the lamp next on 101 ESPN.
If you are currently thinking about remodeling your kitchen, your bathroom, or an outdoor living space, please take the time and visit my friends over at E&B Granite. They're the best in the business. They do such an amazing job. They took care of my kitchen for me. And at the new house, I've got a bar that we're building, and the countertop is going to come from E&B Granite. They're going to help me with the cabinets, all that stuff. Outdoor kitchens going in. E&B Granite helps me with all of my needs when it comes to kitchen, bathroom, and outdoor spaces. They got an unbelievable showroom, too. It's at 6135 Manchester Avenue. Go down there, check things out. The in-house design staff they're phenomenal. They got all the greatest ideas. They're going to help you accomplish exactly what you want. And they've got the countertops on site. It's not samples either. They got the full slab in the back. Walk there, check out the patterns, the colors, ask questions. They've got granite, they've got marble, they've got soapstone, all sorts of great countertops available. So please, if you can't get down there, at least call them and book an appointment. That number's 314-645-9300. That's 314-645-9300. Or you can always visit them at enbgranite.com.
tonight, 5 o'clock, for the Blues and Devils pregame here on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers, you got us for another 10 minutes or so. We have you for another 10 minutes or so. So let's get into some keys to victory tonight as the Blues take on the Devils.
Well, I've got one here, and it says, do what you did last game.
Okay, yeah, that's a pretty good key.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Did I pass?
Play exactly how you played against the Rangers, and you'll be fine. Yeah, it's a good one.
No, all right. I guess I'll go in a little more detail since, Anthony gave me the eye roll. No, I think that if you're the Blues, you want to, number one thing, compete. I think that's been pretty clear now from head coach Jim Montgomery that he wants that blue-collar mentality. And blue-collar mentality is competing. Every shift, every play, every loose puck, every forecheck, like you name it, you're competing. So that's number one for me. Two is pucks to the net. Again, pucks and bodies to the net. Hopefully they learned a little something from that because, the Rangers, that's a good team. Everybody's talking right now like, oh, the Rangers are bad because they've lost 3 games in a row. Every great team goes through a skid every now and then. The Rangers are still a really good hockey club, and you put it to them in their building, for that matter. So pucks and bodies to the net. I think defensively, you've got to play inside the dots because the Devils have a lot of talent, and if you start leaking outside to the walls, you're going to leave that middle ice available, and they're going to burn you. Make it extremely difficult for them to get the middle ice. Own the front of the net. The Blues have done a really good job of that this season, and I give full credit to Ryan Suter. His attitude when it comes to cleaning out the front of the net is second to none, and what it's done is it's made others around him do the same. And it's been much better for both Jordan Binnington and Joel Hofer. When they make a save, they don't have to worry about 2 or 3 or 4 whacks at it after. Guys are gone. Sticks are picked up, bodies are out of the way, or guys are dumped to the ice. So you got to keep that going, especially tonight against this Devils team. Puck management is always something we refer to. They had great puck management the other night, so a lot of what I'm saying right now, we saw already against the Rangers. And, it goes back to my first one, jokingly, do what you did the other night. And the last one for me, last key, is block shots tonight. Play for your goaltender. He's looking to reach a milestone in Blues franchise history. He has saved your bacon so many times on so many different ways. He's one of the main characters in bringing the Stanley Cup here. I'd like to see this team lock it down defensively so Jordan Binnington gets that one win.
Jamie, before we get to the light the lamp part of this segment, 2 questions for you. One, are you surprised that Jordan Binnington is starting tonight, given that the Blues play at home this weekend? Maybe try and get that franchise, record at home. And 2, why is Jake Allen not playing tonight for the Devils?
Oh, Jake Allen's clearly scared. Okay, we know that about Jake. No, I'm just kidding. Jake's awesome. I don't know. Listen, one, I don't make the coaching decisions for the New Jersey Devils.
You should.
And believe it or not, I don't make any of the decisions for the Blues either.
What?
And yeah, I know. I mean, I talk to all the coaches, and I'm nice, and sometimes they ask me what I think, but they don't really listen. I don't think, But no, for me, Jim Montgomery is going off of what Davey Alexander is saying. And Davey Alexander is the goaltending coach. He's awesome. This guy is one of my favorite psychos ever. He just is such a knowledgeable dude in so many different ways. And whatever he says, you got to go with. If this is Benny's night, it doesn't matter that it's on the road. He's still going to play at home again another time. Like, you can't get into that pattern of wanting to have the storybook win. Like, because then your goaltender, that's what he's thinking about.
Yeah.
No, just stop the puck, man.
I think it would be cool, though, if Jake Allen was between, the pipes tonight for New Jersey. And then Jordan Binnington, if he were to break the record, it would go against his former teammate. I think that would be an awesome story. But I guess they just don't like us.
You're so romantic, Marshy.
I told you, I'm a big storyline guy. I love the storylines.
Loves the storylines, absolutely. All right, let's light the lamp.
When a couple of guys can really shoot the puck.
Shoot! I must confess you scored first.
Well, who was the first person?
Breakaway! Shoots! Score! We got hockey to learn.
All right, I think a couple of people scored, right? Did you score, Marsh, or was that Jamie?
No, that was Jamie. We're all tied up now.
Wow, and our guy, Carey Davis with 2 now.
Yes.
2 Jordan Kyrou goals for Carey Davis. Okay, well, Jamie, go ahead then.
Oh, wow. I get the honors. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to the well. Jake Neighbors, please.
Marshy?
I'm going to go back to the well and go Pavel Buchnevich, a.k.a. who Jamie picked the other day. So maybe we're not going back to our own well. We're dipping in each other's well.
There you go.
Well, that can be
A
dangerous.
little dangerous, exactly. Carey's going to take Jordan Kyrou again. He says, why not?
Of course.
Why not do it?
I don't blame him.
I've taken Robert Thomas.
You won't go
Zach
Zach Bolduc.
Yeah. Give me Braden Shen. I'll take Braden
Captain's
Shen.
playing well, too.
Yeah. I'll take Braden Shen. There you go. That's Light the Lamp. Jamie, I know that you wanted to say something right now.
Yeah, this is a little more on a serious note. I think most of the St. Louis area knows the story of Colin Brown, the hockey player, youth hockey player here, playing for the African Americans and CBC High School. He was driving home after a game a few nights ago, and he was hit with a bullet. Just a random shot, and he has been in intensive care since, battling for his life. Unfortunately, we lost Colin today. So it's a tough time for the hockey community. It's a tough time for his friends and family, so prayers go out to all of the people surrounding this. It's a tragic event. They do have a Brown Family Foundation that's out there, so Google that. There's a GoFundMe. There's things that you can do to help out. There's obviously people in the police department are still looking for any tips that they can find out, because they have absolutely no idea, who pulled the trigger, who shot the gun. But unfortunately, we lost a really good kid, both in school and in the hockey world, and just thoughts and prayers go out to everybody surrounding him.
Yeah, well said, Jamie. I just can't imagine losing a child. I can't imagine what it's like to bury a child. I pray I never have to, and my heart goes out to that family. And for a young man to lose his life senselessly, I mean, it makes me want to throw up, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Like it's awful. So if you can help, great. Like Jamie said, fantastic. Especially on the holidays now, it's incredibly sad. It's an incredibly sad story here locally. Jamie, have a happy Thanksgiving. Thankful for you, bud.
Yeah,
We will
likewise.
see you next week. Enjoy the rest of the road trip here, and again, we'll see you. We'll see you when we see you, because then there's another road trip coming up. But we'll see you again soon, bud.
All right, man. You guys have a great Thanksgiving. To all the listeners, too, have a great Thanksgiving. We appreciate each and every one of you.
No doubt. It's Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Andrew Marsh. I think our guy Alex Ferrario is going to stop back in here, and we'll kind of piece this thing together for the next 2 hours leading up to pregame for Blues and Devils. College football. We talked about the committee. If they had an opportunity to get it right last night, I didn't think they did. I didn't think they had an opportunity to, because of just the absolute chaos. So we'll kind of do a roundtable with several different discussion points next on the college football rankings here on 101 ESPN.
If you love old school betting, tight money lines, no betting limits, all of those things, great odds, the best odds, then download Circa Sports Illinois, the app. You visit the website or find them on the App Store. It really is awesome. Derek Stevens, who is the owner of Circa Las Vegas, he's done a wonderful job of, one, creating the world's largest sports book in his casino, but now he's bringing that sports book to the palm of your hand. and it's easy to use. So easy. There's player props, team props. There's, like I said, the best odds available out there are from Circa Sports Illinois, the app, and you're going to love using it. It's super user-friendly, and you don't want to even look at other apps because this is all here. And there's no promos and fancy whistles and bells to try and get you to use it. No, the payoff is exactly that, the payoff. They have the best payoffs in all of the apps that are out there. So don't miss out on the action. Download and bet like a pro with your Circa Sports Illinois app today and join in on all of the excitement. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234. If you're looking to give someone a great gift here at holiday time, or you're looking to just upgrade your vehicle at all, head over to Pure Performance. They're your one-stop shop for all aftermarket modifications, any vehicle too. They've got tons of things for Jeeps and Broncos and all that, of course, the obvious ones, but pickup trucks, cars, minivans, they have everything available for you right there in their 25,000 square foot facility. It is the largest showroom in the area, super easy to find, right off of Highway 70 in St. Peters. When you get there, though, please do me a favor. Walk in, ask for Shelby or Caleb. Tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in. They absolutely love to hear that. And then again, the holiday season, maybe somebody that you want to buy something for, or maybe you're buying something for yourself. You've been a good boy or a good girl. Go out there and buy yourself something from Pure Performance. You won't be sorry. The technicians do an incredible job as well. You get your car back, and you're just amazed every single time. I have been. Every time I go to Pure Performance, I leave there happy with the product, with the price, and, of course, the look of my vehicle. So please get by there and check things out. If not, at least get there online at pureperformance.com. That's pure, P-U-R, performance.com.
The new college football rankings came out last night, and I don't think they had an opportunity to get it right, boys. There's just so much chaos. We're just going to have to let this thing play out.
Wow, is that Alex Ferrario?
Oh! Alex Ferrario joining us right now. Alex will be with us for the next 2 hours leading up to his pregame of the Blues and Devils with Carey Davis off for the day, and Jamie Rivers traveling, and, of course, covering the Blues tonight for the FanDuel Sports Network. Alex stepping in. So, guys, I don't know about you. There really isn't any reason to be in any sort of uproar after the rankings were released last night. I mean, there's certain teams, maybe even the Big 12 Conference, that maybe they're a little ticked off right now if they project how things could play out. But ultimately, you've got an issue here, a fun issue, but an issue nonetheless. When you're ranking teams like Indiana, the schedule wasn't great. But then if you look at a team like Texas, and Carey brought this up yesterday, if you look at a team like Texas, Texas doesn't have an overly impressive resume as it is either. Mm-hmm. You're trying to weigh what? You're trying to weigh the record, the resume, the wins, the losses, and you're not comparing apples to apples. So I think the committee is trying to do the best it can. I'm not saying that it's perfect by any means, but I don't think they had an opportunity for it to be perfect.
Yeah.
You just have to let this thing play out.
The criteria that was put in front of them, it's like there's still so many teams alive right now that like you can make an argument for, because that's kind of what college football has been this season, to where you've got a lot of guys that you look at and you say, well, this team should be higher up. Oh, really? Because we'll look at that ugly loss that like Notre Dame, I think, is a perfect example. You're sitting here talking about Notre Dame being at the fifth ranked team in the college football playoff rankings. And you look at that and you say, well, yeah, that makes sense. Look at all the wins. They just pulled off that huge victory against Army that was undefeated. Oh, but they also lost to Northern Illinois 16-14.
Out of all the ranked teams in the top, well, I'll say out of all the top 15 teams, by far Notre Dame's the worst loss.
Yeah.
That was at home against Northern Illinois. Mm-hmm. You look at every other loss.
That is a MAC team, though.
You're right, though. It is a MAC team, and MAC teams tend to fight you to the bloody end.
You put up 14 points, too.
Yeah, it was not pretty. It was not pretty.
It's MAC defense. That's what that is.
You're darn right it is. Yeah, Akron displayed some great defense last night in overtime to beat Toledo. I'm sure you watched, Marsh. I'm talking to you, the listener.
I mean, of course.
Yeah, dealing with some action. Speaking of Marsh, he's got a little roundtable discussion for us, so fire away, Marsh.
Yeah, so, Anthony, you brought up Indiana. Do you believe that Indiana's performance matters this week in a win, or are they already in the tournament?
I think it's going to be difficult for Indiana to screw this thing up. I think they're probably going to be in. I think they're probably safe, even with the loss to Ohio State and the fact they don't really have like any big time wins. I think the way this shakes out with all the SEC teams having 2-3 losses, the committee it's digestible to say, yeah, you know what, Indiana, the 10 wins still count or 11 wins still count for something, and they're fine.
It's kind of where I was, too. For a while there, it's like you lose to Ohio State, and not just lose to them, you lose by 23. You're thinking, like, okay, they can't be in this still. But there's so many SEC teams that you look at with the 3 losses, and you sit there and say, I understand Indiana got shellacked by Ohio State, but still had some pretty impressive wins, to where you're talking about 3 or 4 SEC teams that have had some real ugly losses. I think it's going to be tougher for them, but if you take care of business against Purdue, I don't know how you can make a case that they're out of it.
Yeah, an 11-win Indiana team I highly doubt is going to be left out.
So this next one is interesting because I didn't really think about this until they brought this up on the show last night, but it is possible that the Big 12 could not have a representative in the college football playoff this year because Tulane is hovering in that 12 to 20 range. And so if Tulane wins their conference and is ranked higher than the Big 12 champion, Tulane would ultimately be able to go in there. So the question is, would you rather have a Big 12 champion or Tulane and Boise State in the college football playoff?
I mean, it kind of depends on who the Big 12 champion winds up being.
If it's Arizona State, do you like that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do. And that's not to say that Arizona State is perfect by any means. If it's 3-loss Kansas State or 3-loss Colorado, look, the Deion factor is real. But you got 3 losses now. And you got some, like one of the losses was Nebraska, and you got kind of taken to the woodshed in that one. And Nebraska has not played well this season. So if it's a 3-loss Kansas State, a 3-loss Colorado, maybe even a 2-loss Iowa State, I'm good with Boise State and Tulane both winning and getting in and being 2 Group of 5 representatives as opposed to having a Boise State and a Big 12 rep.
That'd be tough for the Big 12.
That'd be real tough. Their commissioner's already fuming.
They're going to be complaining more than what we typically hear in terms of complaining with these college football rankings in the playoff system.
So you mentioned Colorado, and Travis Hunter is not a finalist for the Thorpe Award, which is like the best defensive back in the game of college football.
Yeah.
Not even a finalist.
Right.
Do you think that the voters have lost all credibility by keeping him off that list?
I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah. How is a kid that plays both sides of the ball in Colorado for the majority of his games, or at least half of them, not wind up on the Thorpe list? The kid is phenomenal. And he might be the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft this upcoming April.
And if I'm not mistaken, like Colorado's defense as a whole, like it hasn't been great, but it hasn't been like the worst defense in college football, to where you'd sit there and say, well, if it's for the best defensive back, you're not going to give it to them.
Yeah, they've improved. They're not great, but they have improved. But it's Travis Hunter. I mean, Travis Hunter makes just sensational plays consistently.
Just like as a voter, if he's in the Heisman conversation and the favorite to win the Heisman, but yet you're going to say, well, he wasn't good at the position that's going to put him in the Heisman conversation. Right. I don't understand how that works.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of talk, not about the college football playoff, but about NIL right now. And Bryce Underwood, who flipped to Michigan. And Dave Portnoy of Barstool Sports had a hand in that. He has a marketing deal with Bryce Underwood to get him to flip to Michigan. And then Oracle's billionaire Larry Ellison and his wife also ponied up around $12 million. Do you think that this has changed college, in quote, recruiting forever? Like, that's a lot of money.
It won't be forever. It won't be forever. It will be for the immediate future. I think we have a tendency to go too far in thinking that something is going to last. What lasts? Nothing lasts.
Especially in college athletics.
Yeah, it is a cycle. Life is a cycle. What I said it yesterday, what was old is now new again. This will run its course eventually. You will have pitfalls that we don't see. And quite frankly, we've already seen that. Remember the transfer portal? That this has been a big story. Like, transfer portal is going to ruin college athletics. If you're Florida State, do you want to dip your toe into the transfer portal again and basically revamp your whole program like you did before and you got shellacked? And now you're dealing with more people? Or do you want to kind of build maybe a balanced approach where you build it a little bit more traditionally and you use the transfer portal to supplements? I think there's, like I said before, I think there's pitfalls here that we're not seeing. If this kid ain't worth it or he gets hurt, are you willing to, if you're a big program, you're willing to shell out that much money? It's all decisions. We're all making decisions here. It's like Jerry Jones of the Cowboys saying, well, we don't have enough money. We didn't have enough money to sign Derrick Henry. You did, but you gave it to other people. You made decisions along the way that then cost you potentially adding Derrick Henry to your roster. So there's decisions that are being made now. Maybe it won't be this, but there will be a time where things backfire and people will adjust.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't this a thing a couple of years ago too with Barstool Sports and college athletes, to where there were a couple that were getting NIL money from Barstool Sports? I could have sworn there was a couple of, because they were I
think I do remember
they were
that.
endorsed by Barstool Sports, and because I remember Portnoy had put some stuff out, and there were athletes that were sending in their resume tapes and things like that.
I don't know if it was to the likes of this, but I do remember that. I can't necessarily put my finger on the exact thing that they did, but I do remember that being a thing.
It's a 5-star recruit, and that's why everybody's going to jump onto it, because it's a quarterback. It's the premier position in college football, and Portnoy's name's attached to it, and then everybody jumps on board. It's like, oh, this is going to change sports for the better.
And he's a huge Michigan guy, so I think it's interesting, because anybody that is a fan or an alum of whatever college they went to, they can be like, oh, well, I'll throw $5 million to get this guy here.
But if look, at some point it's not going to work.
Yeah,
and then
they back off of it.
How about Cohen with the Mets? I'll just spend recklessly until it didn't work, and he's like, oh, you know what? I'm going to shut my mouth. I'm going to listen to baseball people, and we're going to figure that we're going to do this a different way. I just think that we have a tendency to overreact. Yeah, this is shocking. I'm not going to.
Isn't that the Mike Tyson quote? Everybody's prepared until they get punched in the face?
Pretty much,
yeah. Steve Cohen got punched in the face when they lost. Like, oh, shoot, we're spending how much money?
Yep. Let me backtrack a little bit here.
All right, last thing here. Speaking of NIL, you know that Luther Burden has a deal with Mizzou, and we like the chips that he...
The Red Hot Riplets?
The Red Hot Riplets.
They are good chips.
Love those.
Yeah.
Who will get the most credit for changing the Mizzou football program? Is it Eli Drinkwitz, or do you think it's Luther Burden?
I still think it's Eli Drinkwitz, because Eli Drinkwitz was able to recruit the players like Luther Burden that he did. I mean, and ultimately, I think that when it comes to collegiate athletics, unless it's a Johnny Manziel situation where he, was able to allow Texas A&M to rebuild College Station, I think a lot of the times you're gonna give the credit to the coach.
Yeah. I mean, you can't deny, like, going from a consistent 6-win team to an 11-win team to where you give Drink credit. I do wonder how much credit, though, is given a Burden by future commits in terms of the in-state guys to win. A guy like Luther Burden, I mean, Michael Porter Jr. was that way as well, to where it felt like he committed and then everyone else started moving past it. And then you weren't talking about the coach, you were talking about Michael Porter Jr. So I do wonder how many kids in the future commit and talk about, when Luther went to Mizzou, that was the moment for me where I felt like this was an opportunity.
I do think it helps.
Yeah.
It's a factor.
It's a factor.
When you get one of those guys.
Sure. But I think also Eli Drinkwitz is doing his job. One of the things that Kirby Smart did first and foremost was he knew what players were from the South going to Alabama.
Yeah.
And he knew what players that were in Atlanta and the Georgia, Athens area that were going to Alabama. And he locked down the borders.
Yeah. And you know how to sell it.
First thing he did.
You got to know how to sell the program.
Yeah.
Got a great text from Grant Francis fan club. Who said Mizzou football has changed?
It was unnecessary.
Kind of fair, though. All right, Alex Ferrario. Alex Ferrario in. It's a Fast Line on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marshall, Anthony Stalter. The Dodgers hate you. We'll explain why next on 101 ESPN. So I know you're going to be celebrating Thanksgiving tomorrow, but why don't you head out to Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum on Friday to take advantage of their Black Friday everyday event. We're toward the end of the month now. Black Friday is on Friday, but the event was extended to December 2nd. You can take advantage of some of the lowest financing rates available that you're going to find in the greater St. Louis area. Right now, they've got 0% APR on Pathfinders and Rogues. You're going to love the Pathfinder, man. I love driving the Pathfinder. My wife loves driving the Pathfinder. The space in that, the way it drives, we love it. They've got Pathfinders, Rogues, APR 0%. They got 0.9% APR on Frontier at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum. Plus, no payments for 3 months available on select new Nissans. They've got over 700 vehicles all in one location right there in Herculaneum. It's the largest and best used selection in St. Louis. You're bound to find the perfect vehicle to match your lifestyle and your budget. They got new Nissans and select used vehicles that come with their complimentary lifetime warranty. Plus, select new Nissans come with a complimentary maintenance plan and the 30-day return promise. Check them out online first at AutoCentersNissan.com. But when you do head out to Herculaneum, tell them Stalter sent you. It's Auto Centers Nissan. more predictable things occurred last night in Major League Baseball, and that's the Dodgers jumping on the opportunity to sign Blake Snell. So Blake Snell goes from the Padres to the Giants and now to the Dodgers. He's just making his way around. It'll be a Rocky in 5 years.
Oh, hell, right when they're ready to compete for a World Series.
Yeah, that Blake Snell just taking all the NL West money. So, yeah, the World Series champions are adding Blake Snell. And they continue to hate you as a baseball fan.
Getting away with it!
Oh, they can, because Major League Baseball allows it. For the record, I don't blame the Dodgers,
Nope.
Alex. If you're going to allow your kid to eat whatever he wants and basically color all over the walls, what do you think the kid's going to do?
He's going to color all over the walls and eat whatever he wants.
Damn
Probably
right.
eat the colors.
Well, maybe. Yeah,
Probably.
You never know.
I did.
I don't blame the Dodgers. There's no salary cap.
No.
They don't care about the luxury tax. They're going to continue to do this. In fact, I think they struck while the iron's hot so they could get Juan Soto at some point in the next month or so.
Stop it.
Or trade for Nolan Arenado.
Major League Baseball. I'm not. And by the way, I'm not talking about the sport. Okay. I realize there's a lot of issues in the NFL. Love the game of football. I'm not talking about the sport of baseball. So baseball fans, baseball purists, don't get mad. Open your ears. Understand what I'm saying. Major League Baseball is a joke. It's an absolute joke. Mm-hmm. To watch the Dodgers do what they did last offseason in acquiring Tyler Glasnow, of course, signing Shohei Ohtani and Teoscar Hernandez and Yamamoto, and then for them to turn around and get Blake Snell and probably Juan Soto. What are you doing? This is what you want for your team? Or for your league, I mean? I realize that, like, parity, not everybody loves parity. I don't particularly enjoy knowing that the Dodgers are going to win in December because that's what I felt last year. Lo and behold, they did. Now, I know there's games to be played and all that, but you don't have a salary cap.
Yep.
You don't have a salary floor, and you never will because the owners are getting fat, dumb, and happy, and so are the players. So who loses?
The fans, Anthony.
The 29 fan bases that aren't the LA Dodgers. Can't include the Dodgers because Dodgers fans, well, they're fine with all this. You're a joke, Major League Baseball. An absolute joke. And I'll say as much Juan Soto signs with the Dodgers as well.
Well, and you know that's going to happen, and they're going to make some type of trade. They'll probably get Sasaki, too, and then just continue to just dominate the market. Man, I think there's a lot of fans that woke up, just kind of shrugged their shoulders with that because it was like, well, what do you expect? Like frankly, I think a lot of fans were probably thinking Corbin Burns was going to be at the Dodgers and not Blake Snell, but Snell was the one that got done first. The one thing I will say, and I'm not on board with this because I think they do need a salary cap like the NHL because I think the CBT specifically, the deferring money down the road, that is just getting absurd. But baseball's never had a villain. Like, I don't feel like baseball's had a villain since, the Yankees in the early 2000s?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They got a villain now. They got a team that you can hate. Now, you're going to really hate it when they win World Series after World Series after World Series. But isn't it a little more satisfying as a fan base to know that a team is out there just throwing tons of money at all of these premier players, but then when they get to the postseason, those guys break and then they don't win?
I mean, it would be nice. I was kind of rooting for that, Alex, this past
and they were close to
Classic.
It.
Kind of, yeah. I was really rooting for it.
I mean, they were starting 3 of 5 games with bullpen games.
Which is why I thought they were going to lose eventually. I didn't like the pitching staff.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is that they did win. So I'm with you. I am a big believer in having somebody to root for and against, whether I'm watching sports, movies, TV, whatever. I enjoy that. But if they win... It's not like a villain one. It's like a book that you know what the ending is by the title. Yeah. That's the problem. You're not creating drama.
A book by its cover, Anthony.
Well, I'm going to judge this book because I was right last year in December, and so was 500,000 people. If you're really just understanding what the Dodgers are doing here and building the super team. If they lose that's different. That's great. But I don't think that's going to be the case.
I think if they go on an extended run of multiple championships, like like, let's go back to the mid 2010s with the Golden State Warriors. Now, they did it a little bit different. They actually drafted players and they created that team. But once Kevin Durant went there and they went on this like extended run of championships, like I was just super disinterested in the NBA. And I have been ever since.
Wow, they really broke you.
No, but
But you know what? You bring it up real quick. I know you're going to finish your point, though. But, like, dude, let's not talk about KD anymore. Like, baseball players are doing the same damn thing.
Yeah.
It's not just an NBA problem anymore. It's like, oh, they all play with their buddies. Look what the Dodgers are doing now. So, go ahead.
But, like, if they do go on an extended run of winning championships, like, I'm afraid as a baseball fan that the casual baseball fan or just people that might be on the fringe or they love baseball, it doesn't matter what kind of fan you are, they're just going to lose interest in the game because we're seeing the same thing happen over and over again. And it's like, well, what the heck? Like, who cares anymore? I'll go watch something else.
Major League Baseball will deserve it.
Oh, for sure.
They will deserve it. College football, for how long? The NCAA just kept doing the BCS, computer, no playoffs. Everybody's clamoring for it. It was so obvious, right? I'm not saying it's perfect. It's never going to be perfect. But what we have now going into this college football weekend, I was listening to you guys earlier, and BK, I thought his head was going to explode from excitement. It's an exciting college football weekend, and it's going to be that way from now until the national championship. It was so obvious to expand the playoff, and they like dipped their toe in the water, like, all right, we'll give you 4, and then eventually they got to 12, and the discussion is part of the drama and the entertainment. So that's what a lot of people forget. Like, everybody's trying to be right about their opinion on college football. The fact is, we're talking about it. To your point, we're not going to be talking about baseball if it's the Dodgers year in and year out.
Well, if maybe we expand the 16 teams in the playoffs, there'll be more teams to maybe take down the Dodgers.
Give us a floor. Give us a ceiling when it comes to the salary cap, salary floor. Implement one. It's obvious. And your product will at least be, I'm not saying it's going to be better. I'm just saying it's going to be more entertaining. But they won't.
Whatever happened to players wanting to go somewhere and like build an organization and win?
Oh, they want to win, all right.
It's
That's
a
why
lot
they're
easier.
Signing with the Dodgers.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to go to a place where they already got those pieces in place and I could just kind of fit right in like a glove.
I actually apologize to the Dodgers. I said, when I teased the last segment, I said the Dodgers hate you. We'll explain why. I should have said Major League Baseball
Rob
hates
Manfred
you.
hates you.
Major League Baseball hates you. Yes, you. Driving right on me? Yeah, you. Major League Baseball hates you.
Yeah.
So that's just a fact. As long as we're on the same page. Major League Baseball hates Marsh, hates Ferrario, and me too. Okay? The way that they're acting, they don't even hate. You're not important enough for them to hate. They don't care about you.
They don't even know who you are.
Oh, there we go.
So
go get tickets sooner or later. Season tickets available now.
Can't wait until I get the update on my phone that Juan Soto is a Dodger for $500 billion at 8 years.
I think he's going to the Blue Jays.
Okay. What's trending is next on ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Jordan Binnington, he goes for the franchise record for wins in Blues franchise history tonight in New Jersey as the Blues take on the New Jersey Devils. We have an early pregame for you starting at 5 o'clock. Puck drop is at 6. And what do you know? You'll hear Alex Ferrario on said pregame show. He's with us for the remainder of the Fast Lane. So continue to listen to us. And if you missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Schaefer Door Company 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. And it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Coming up next, we have What's Trending. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time to find out what's going on in the sports world with What's Trending Now. Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate a car and get tickets to the St. Louis Cardinals.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter, Alex Ferrario, who's pinch hitting for Carey Davis and Jamie Rivers. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Guys, we talked about this at the beginning of the show. Jordan Binnington, he's going for the franchise record tonight for the most wins as a Blues goaltender in franchise history. Do you guys believe that Jordan Binnington embodies what it means to be a St. Louis Blue? Wow.
That's deep,
Wow.
Marshy.
That is
Jesus,
deep.
man.
Like
the day before Thanksgiving.
On and off the ice.
I don't know if he embodies what it means to be a Blue, and I'm not. I guess I'm just not. Wouldn't be right for me to talk about what it would mean.
Well, yeah,
But-
you could speak to like the Sharks organization.
No, I couldn't. Even
what
that,
embodies
Marsh.
the Sharks organization?
I don't know. Losing, I think, mostly.
Yeah, getting that top pick, baby.
No, I mean, look, Brett Hall and all the phenomenal players that have come through this organization can speak to that. Now, I know what you're asking, Marsh. It's like, you like, where does his legacy rank, right?
Yeah, kind of.
It's a phenomenal story. Mm-hmm. It is a great story. It's a great story about about
Perseverance.
Perseverance. Thank you. It's a great story about being a player that was consistently overlooked, that wound up being eventually the winningest goaltender in Blues history. And this is a proud franchise that has had many a great goaltender. So I just think that it's a fascinating story. He's a fascinating person. Mm-hmm. I think Jordan Binnington is a unique dude that's always himself. I don't know if he embodies what it means to be a Blue, but I think maybe at some point when he decides to hang him up, the Blues would be right to say, hey, let's bring him back to tell his story and show, like, hey, look what this kid did.
Right.
Look what this guy did for as long as he did to stick with it, wound up winning the Stanley Cup and then become, a franchise hero.
Yeah.
Record holder.
I think when you use the embodies the St. Louis Blues, like, what do you think of when you think of the Blues? It's what Jim Montgomery said. It's what every single Blues player has always said. It's the work boots type of player. You go out there, you work hard at it. And I mean, like, Binnington was a third-round draft pick that, like Anthony said, like, you played on 3 different teams in that stretch before you got called up to the Blues in terms of the ECHL, the AHL, and the Blues affiliate, and the Providence Bruins affiliate before you played for the Blues. So, like, I do think you embody a lot of that hard work ethic that goes with the St. Louis Blues mindset. But, I mean, just in terms of who he is and what he's done, yeah, I mean, like, Kerb said it earlier today with us, and I actually agree. I think if you're talking about the next number retired for the St. Louis Blues, it might be number 50.
I was just going to ask, do you think he gets a statue?
Yeah. Joey and I talked about this. Pecorine has one for the Nashville Predators. Arena never won a Stanley Cup. Pack
Yeah, but
Arena,
they got the division.
They also hang a bunch of banners
Yeah,
that
got
don't
division
matter.
banners.
You're right. They did win the Central Division and put that one up real quick. But at the now a lot of this is pending on, like, does Jordan Binnington finish his time with the Blues? But, like, you got 2 more years after this year, and he's typically a guy that wins 25, 30 games in a season. I mean, you could be talking about 215-plus wins at the end of his career, which, I mean, me personally, if you're going to talk about a Stanley Cup, a team that probably should have been a Stanley Cup contender, that's a banner worthy like the Nashville Predators did. Yeah, I think he might be the first guy to get it.
Well, gentlemen, moving on to the NFL. This particular guy ruined my Sunday afternoon in 2022 when the New York Football Giants defeated my Minnesota Vikings in the first round of the NFL playoffs.
He is a Viking.
And now Daniel Jones is a Minnesota Viking.
Yeah.
One of the worst days that I can remember as a Vikings fan. Or maybe not. I wonder what this looks like for Daniel Jones and Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah.
We talked about this yesterday.
Well, I'm just going to put it right back on you. How excited are you to have Daniel Jones wear the purple?
It's a hell of a quarterback.
Yeah, Anthony, I'm not that excited, but I also don't believe that he will play. So,
Well, he can give you intimate knowledge when you face the Giants in the play. You know what? Good on him.
yeah.
Good on him. Good on his agent. I'm sure they had other offers. I don't know how many, but I'm sure they had other offers.
Another offer.
And he went to the spot where the head coach has gotten the most out of his quarterbacks. So I think it's a good landing spot for Daniel Jones. And you pray that, well, you know what? Is it an upgrade over Nicky Mullins?
I don't know, man. Nick Mullins, last year Nick Mullins made some bonehead plays.
Yeah.
Especially in the Bengals game. And I remember that one, watching that. I was actually at Ballpark Village, and that also ruined my day.
Sure.
But Nick Mullins, when he's come in this year, he's looked pretty good. He's only played like 2 plays at a time, but, man, he can really throw the ball. I'd rather have Nick Mullins in, to be honest. I really don't trust Daniel Jones.
Well, I think then that says everything that we need to know about your thoughts on Daniel Jones becoming a Minnesota Viking.
Do you think Kevin O'Connell wins the Coach of the Year this year based on what he's done with Sam Darnold? Or do you think it goes to a coach that has done more with their team?
Well, it's always kind of an award that is given to the head coach that is coaching a team that you don't expect it, right?
I would say that the Vikings were not expected to.
I would say
have
so,
2
too.
losses at this point in the season.
So who would be his main challenger? Like Dan
Campbell.
Quinn?
Dan
Quinn, that's right.
I would still-
Dan Campbell's not going to get it because their expectation was to be the best team.
Right. So I would say Kevin O'Connell probably does.
What happens if Seattle wins that division?
Or Arizona.
Or Arizona, whoever wins that division.
That was coupled with the San Francisco. I don't know if you penalize the Vikings and the Cardinals for this, but that would basically be because the 49ers took a massive step back.
Yeah. I think Dan Quinn's going to have to be up there in terms of competitiveness. Like, nobody was expecting that Washington team to be in this conversation. Now, maybe they have a setback, but
Right.
I'll
And
still give
we're
it a-
starting to see it now.
I'll
But
still give it to Kevin O'Connell. That was the Vikings were not a playoff team last year. Granted, because Kirky football got hurt.
that's your guy now.
Oh yeah. I'd give it to Kevin O'Connell. Sam Darnold did nothing with the Jets. Obviously,
Sam Darnold.
Went to Carolina, disaster. Wound up 1 year behind Kyle Shanahan, and now the Vikings are what, 9-2? Yeah, I'd give it to O'Connell.
Makes me feel good.
I'm good with that.
Makes me feel great.
Yeah. You good?
I'm good. Are you good for the Stalter Stackup?
Oh yeah.
oh, I get to be a part of this.
Is going to be a part of this as well.
Baby.
It's kind of interesting toward the bottom of the stack.
Yeah, that was kind of ugly. You said interesting. I said ugly.
Either way, Stalter Stack Up next on 101 ESPN.
Oh, Sean McVay is the best playbook. Oh.
Stalter on the fumble.
Oh, my God. Anthony.
You like that? You like that?
You're wrong on this one, Anthony.
Anthony, who cares what you think?
On stacks, on stacks, on stacks.
Time for the Stalter Stackup / Fastlane Stackup, and now the Ferrario Stackup. It's the top 10 teams in the National Football League as we get ready for the Turkey Day games. 3 tomorrow, and we got some on 101 ESPN. In fact, we got all 3. Got the triple header. Got Lions Bears kickoff at 11:30. Cowboys Giants kickoff at 3:30, and Packers Dolphins kickoff at 7:20. So if you're riding around, tune in to 101 ESPN. We got the Thursday Thanksgiving NFL games for you right here tomorrow. All right, Marshy, fire away.
Number 10.
I got the Denver Broncos at number 10. I didn't think I was going to have them be a top 10 team, but Bo Nix is playing some of the best football of any quarterback in the NFL right now this second. Over the last couple of weeks, that Broncos team has looked very good. Easy win against the Raiders, certainly, but I mean, who had the Broncos doing anything this year? Defense is absolutely legit. I like them right now over some of the other contenders, including the Texans and Commanders. I think the Broncos are playing better than both those teams, so I got the Broncos at 10.
I think I saw a stat a little bit ago that says like they're 1-6 against teams with winning percentage, and they're undefeated against teams that are under 500.
Under 500, yeah.
Like the Denver Broncos feel like one of those teams. I actually put number 10 the Houston Texans.
You crazy man.
I know. I don't trust that team anymore.
He still has faith, though, to put him at number 10.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I have faith in their offense. I have zero faith in their defense. But their offense has been very inconsistent. But I do still think that that's a team that can blow you out of the water when they're right.
They should be better than they were a year ago, but they're not.
Yeah,
it's weird.
And
Joe Mixon, I mean, they got a good run. Well, I mean, CJ Stroud didn't look great.
Yeah,
either.
Stroud doesn't look good. But the defensive side of it, like they brought in like 2 different secondary pieces to where it was supposed to upgrade that, and like significantly has been terrible on the defensive side.
Marshy?
Anthony, much like we woke up today and decided to wear black, both
again.
You and I, we both woke up today and decided to put the Denver Broncos at number 10.
Yeah, we did, Marsh. Nice job.
Oh, man, I'm going to be the odd one out.
Number 9.
I got the Chargers here at number 9. I know they lost to the Ravens, but look, I expected the Ravens to be a better team than the Chargers on Sunday night. I love Justin Herbert. He makes some unbelievable throws. I don't think the consistency there, especially in the second half, but he don't have a lot around him either. Quentin Johnson, how many key drops did he have on Sunday? Nevertheless, I think this team is a wild card team, and I like them more than most teams. I got them at 9.
How do you drop so many footballs and you're a first-round pick?
I don't know if he should have been a first-round pick, but your point is well made. He is a receiver. It's part of the job description to catch footballs. The one that he dropped on I think it was a drag route.
Yeah, for the first down.
Yeah.
So they ran that same play TCU did against Michigan a couple of years ago in the college football playoff.
Dropped that puppy.
No, he caught it and ran it for a touchdown, which basically sealed the deal for TCU in the fourth quarter. But he dropped that one, and now Jim Harbaugh is on his team. Or he's the head coach.
How about that?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Harbaugh's just miserable no matter what with Quentin Johnson. Okay.
Sounds about right. I put the Steelers here. I know the Steelers have been really good for a really long time. I think that Cleveland Browns game was a tell of things to come. I think they are in a little bit of we don't know who the real quarterback is between Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, and that defense can only keep you going for so long. So I put them at number 9.
It's a great day to put the Steelers at number 9, especially with Carey not here.
Yeah, I was going to say,
oof. You got them at number 9 too, do you?
I do.
I got the Green Bay Packers here at number 8. Really, I don't know if it was an impressive win. It was a needed win. The 49ers team is wounded. They're on the backup quarterback, and the Packers took it to them, so they did what they needed to do. I still think they got some warts. Defensively, I think there's some issues there. And Jordan Love has been reckless at times, but sometimes you also need that. You need a little gunslinger if you're gonna make some noise. So give me the Packers at 8.
Marshy, don't get too mad at me, buddy, but your Minnesota Vikings are at number 8 over here.
Wow.
I think this Sam Darnold has had his season, and there's no taking that away, but I don't know how much longer that's going to survive. They barely got that win against the Chicago Bears in overtime, and I'm wondering what that defense looks like moving forward. So I put the Vikings at number 8.
Yeah, Ivan Pace Jr. will be out for a minimum of 4 games, so that's interesting to note about the Vikings defense.
Not great.
Number 8, I have the Los Angeles Chargers. I know they lost this past week, but I think that they are building and they're going to make some noise when it comes playoff time just because of who their head coach is. So Chargers at number 8 for me.
Number 7, thank you.
I got Marsh's Minnesota Vikings here at number 7. I love the coaching. Love the coaching.
Not enough,
Something
though.
about them I don't trust.
Oh, really? What would that be?
Well, all the close games against opponents they should be drubbing.
Like they did in the early portion of the season.
Look, they're 9-2. Okay, they're 9-2. They're winning games. Sam Darnold is comeback player of the year. I love O'Connell. You know how I feel about Brian Flores. So I got the Vikings at 7.
I got the Chargers at number 7. They're seemingly more of a well-rounded team. Now, there are aspects of their game that I don't trust, like you guys just mentioned with Quentin Johnson. That was embarrassing. But their defense has been good from start to finish this season. The run game, of course, has been dominant. And I just do feel like Justin Herbert's one of those game breakers. So I put Chargers at 7.
I have the Green Bay Packers at number 7. I can't have them above the team I'll have at 6. So
Vikings, bro.
Number 6.
This is where I have the Steelers. Alex isn't wrong in his assessment of, maybe the Browns' loss was a sign of things to come. The Steelers are also 0-7, as we know, on Thursday nights under Tomlin when they're playing on the road. Defense is legit. Chris Boswell is legit. I do think that they're a team you don't want to face in the first round of the playoffs, but ultimately they're not going to win anything big. I respect where they're at right now, though, so give me at 6.
Yeah, I have the Packers at number 6. I feel like what we've seen in the early portion of the season with the Packers was really good coaching and a quarterback that was just banged up that they were trying to keep as long as they could going. I think now you're starting to see a little bit of a healthier Jordan Love, and I look at their schedule the rest of the way. Lions game's going to be tough, but it's a division one. I think they beat the Dolphins. I think they win out with the exception of that Lions game. So I put the Packers at number 6.
yeah, I got the Minnesota Vikings. Shocker there.
Shocker.
Man, this team just continues to stress me out.
Why? You're not making eye contact with any of us right now, Marshy.
Yeah, no, they stress me out a lot. I mean, in the break, or not the break, in the office, come on Monday, I was just naming all these different things that I just don't know why. I don't know why. What are they doing? What are they doing? And then Sam Darnold looks like an absolute pro in overtime, and I'm like, okay, there we go. You saved the week for me.
Yeah.
But I can't have them in the top 5. I know they're 9-2, but they're not a top 5 team for me.
Just win, baby.
5.
I've got the Ravens here. I gave some consideration to the Eagles here, but the Ravens have some pretty ugly losses. Like, if this was the college football playoff committee, the Ravens would essentially be Georgia. I know you're good, but man, you haven't looked great in some of these losses. Going on the road, though, I think Lamar Jackson he's got a ridiculous record coming off losses. Really good win. Second half, they look dominant. Really, from the final couple minutes of the second quarter on, they look like the Ravens. This is a team that could lose to the Raiders on any given Sunday or beat anyone in the NFL by 45. Like that to me is the Ravens. I got them at 5.
I got their Ravens at number 5, too, for the same reason you just said. They've got an offense that is dynamic, that is going to be tough to stop. Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, the throwing game has just been very impressive. Their defense, I think it's 4 straight games that they've given up 300 or more passing yards in. Defense has not been very good, so they concern me a little bit, and I'll always question Lamar Jackson in the postseason until I actually see it done.
Yeah, I'm with you, too. Like, I think this team is a top 4 team. By the way, I have Baltimore at 5. I think they're a top 4 team, but like what makes them just outside of that top 4 is the fact that they continue to shoot themselves in the foot. Like that's how they're going to lose. They're not just going to get blown out, or they're not going to. Yeah, like when they've lost, it's because they have shot themselves in the foot. Like I don't really believe the other team has beaten them, other than the Chiefs in Week 1. Other than that, like they're beating themselves.
Yep,
so
I agree.
They're number 5 for me.
Number 4.
I got the Eagles here at number 4. They, the talent-wise, they're phenomenal. They really are. They're one of the more talented rosters in the league. I love the way the defense now is playing under Vic Fangio, that has come together. I just don't trust Sirianni. I don't. I know he's going to make a decision at some point that's going to cost him a win, a pivotal win. But I don't think they've lost since September. And one of those losses to Atlanta, and the game they should have won. So give me the Eagles at 4.
Yeah, I had the Eagles at 4 as well. It's odd because they've got, in my opinion, a guy who should be in the conversation for the MVP in Saquon Barkley. Their offense in general with the offensive line has been impressive. I don't trust their head coach. And I think this past weekend showed you exactly like that decision to go for it with 3 seconds on the clock at the fourth quarter rather than punt the ball. And it felt like Sirianni didn't realize that the ball goes back to the other team on a turnover or downs with no time on the clock.
Yeah.
He feels like somebody who's going to be a liability at some point. So I put them at 4.
All right, I'm about to say this team name, and you're going to think, wow, Marsh, I thought the festivities before Thanksgiving started tonight. What are you dipping into right now? Give me the Kansas City Chiefs at number 4. You can't beat the Carolina Panthers by 3 points and call yourself a top 3 team. And I'll leave it at that.
All right, fair.
Number 3.
Give me the Buffalo Bills here at number 3. Maybe Marsh is right, and I should probably have them at number 2, and maybe the Chiefs here at 3 or lower. But I do have the Bills here. Part of the thing I can't get past with the Bills is that the Ravens treated them like a dog chew toy in week 3 or 4. Like, that loss has really stuck out to me. But I think they're a really balanced team. Sometimes they get overly reliant on Josh Allen. I don't know if they get into the AFC title game or a Super Bowl, but you got to respect what the resume. You got to respect what they've done. So give me 3.
I got Chiefs at 3, and I know they've been banged up, so it's hard to put them there. But kind of the line of Marshy's thinking, I still think they're a top 3 team for the playmakers that they have and the coach that they have. But boy, Patrick Mahomes just does not look like the same Patrick Mahomes we are all accustomed to.
Give me the Philadelphia Eagles. Saquon Barkley personally won me 2 of my fantasy football leagues this past week.
Fitting.
And he's been fantastic so far this season. He can hurdle people backwards.
Enough said.
Philly, number 3.
Number 2.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this, but still give me the Chiefs. And yes, I'm projecting a little bit. By the way they've looked, they're probably somewhere in the top 5, not in the top 2. But yeah, I'm projecting here because the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl again. So give me them 2.
Yeah, well, he's not wrong there. But I have the Bills at number 2 because I'm just hopeful, very hopeful that the Buffalo Bills can find a way to pull this one off. They feel like a fully rounded team, even if the Ravens did treat them like a rag doll, like Stoltz mentioned early on in the season. Right now, they're clicking on all cylinders. They're my number 2 team.
I also have Buffalo at number 2. I like the way they're playing. And, of course, when you beat the Chiefs, the greatest team known to man,
true,
you deserve to be in the top 2.
Okay. Number 1.
Lions, all say aye.
Yep.
Aye. There you go. All right, we need a new Gauntlet contestant. So feel free to text in now, 314-399-9646. If you want to play in the Gauntlet, your opportunity is coming up now. So Gauntlet next on 101 ESPN. With Black Friday this week, the holidays are approaching, and we have the perfect gift idea for you and your family. It's called Sound Story. This is the time of year when people start thinking about what to get family members for the holidays. And if your family is thinking about what would be best for mom or dad or maybe a grandparent, Sound Story. Get a gift card. It would be something for everyone that they can enjoy. Since it's Black Friday this week, Sound Story has a special Black Friday discount of 10% off holiday gift cards at mysoundstory.com when you enter promo code ESPN. I'll remind you of that here in a second. But what Sound Story is, if you're wondering, it's an hour-long interview with your mom or your dad or a loved one in which they tell their life stories, making sure that you and your children will have these memories saved forever. And now, new to to the 2024 holiday season, Sound Story is offering the option of a video interview to make sure both the stories and their images are preserved. And you can choose from various hosts like myself to interview your loved one for Sound Story, and it's a gift that you're never going to regret giving, but it is a gift that everyone in your family will absolutely love. Just go to mysoundstory.com, enter promo code ESPN to get this Black Friday week special of 10% off a holiday gift card for Sound Story. That's promo code ESPN at mysoundstory.com.
Four warriors, 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. 1 hour to go until the Blues pregame right here on 101 ESPN, featuring our guy Alex Ferrario, who's pulling some triple duty today because he had his own show. He's filling in right now with us here in the Fast Lane, and then he'll have the pregame show for the Blues and the Devils starting at 5 o'clock. Andrew Marsh is here as well. I'm Anthony Stalter. 404, your time check, brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. And we welcome in Nathan. What's up, Nathan?
Not much. Trying to stay dry because it's starting to rain here and warm.
All three of us just looked out the window and we were like, is it really?
Yeah.
It's starting to sprinkle here in South County. So.
Nate Dogg doesn't lie.
All right, South County. I'm a South County guy myself.
Too much of it lately.
Yeah. All right, Nathan, your choice today. Alex Ferrario, Andrew Marsh, or me in the Gauntlet. Who do you want?
Ooh, let's take on Alex Ferrario.
Oh, all right. Is this is not your first Gauntlet?
No, I've done a couple of these, but it's been a while.
All right.
What are the rules again? I'm just kidding.
So Alex is going to head out. By the way, Alex, you cannot get hockey, by the way, Nathan, because Alex already knows.
Great, said that. Now, I don't remember the questions, but let's be fair.
I'll be all right.
Okay. All right.
Cool.
So no hockey.
I'll be back.
No hockey today, but go ahead and tell Marsh to spin the wheel, Nathan.
Marsh, you spin that wheel.
Now, I know you said you'd be fine with no hockey, so what do you
I'll be fine with hockey. I'll be fine with hockey.
Oh.
No random.
Random, okay.
I'm not the best at random. Any of the other three I'll take.
What do we got?
How does football sound today, Nathan?
I'll give it a try.
All right.
Are you a football guy or not really?
No, I do my fantasy football. I do all right on picks.
Okay.
Stuff like that. So
All right.
I'll be all right.
We'll see how you do here when it comes to foosball trivia.
It's probably better at picking than I am.
No, Mark, you're leading Bet the Board this month.
That
You're
is
doing
fair.
well. All right, so, Nathan, 4 football questions, all worth 2 points, unless you ask for the options. If you ask for the options, those questions become worth 1 point. Are you ready?
Let's go.
All right, here we go. Question 1. Out of the 4 teams that Brett Favre played for in his NFL career, which team did he play for the fewest games?
That he played for, I would say that played for or in.
No, he played. So he played for 4 teams in his career. How many games? The fewest amount of games that he played for with this team.
Yeah, which team did he play the fewest games with?
Yep.
Okay, Atlanta.
Final answer?
Final answer, Atlanta Falcons.
Question number 2. Lamar Jackson won the NFL MVP last season with 493 vote points. Who finished second in voting with 152 vote points? So who came in second?
I'm going to take the options on this.
Of course. The options are Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy, or Dak Prescott.
Give me CMC. Final answer.
All right, Nathan, question number 3. Clemson has lost twice this season. They lost to Louisville and which other team back in week 1 of the season?
Oh. Ooh. I'm going to say Georgia. Final answer.
Final question for you, Nathan. What is the highest Alabama ranked at any point this college football season?
Okay. Give me the options on this one.
Your options are 1, 2, or 3.
I'm going to say 1. Final answer.
All right, let's bring back Ferrario from the Kona Silencer. Nathan, how you feeling?
I'm doing all right.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, Alex is coming back in here from the Kona Silence. He got his headphones back on. Alex, how was the Kona Silence?
It's fantastic. I got a dual action in there. Grant and Ryder hanging out with both of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was a little
double time.
Little Thanksgiving special in there, you know?
Wow, okay.
Talked a little turkey.
Did
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
You should tell Stalter one of your dad jokes.
Ah, you want one
You know
of my
what?
dad jokes?
You were I think you guys were teasing it when I was coming in.
Yeah.
So like I missed it.
You missed it?
Yeah. Do you got a joke for us?
I got to pull it back up. I got a list on my phone. I can't want it off the top of my head.
Okay, yeah,
I came up with one and I texted Alex. No, I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's good or not.
Apparently mine weren't good either earlier.
Oh, really? Who didn't like him?
Nobody really complained.
BK didn't like him.
T-Bone doesn't like my
T-Bone's not old enough to
T-Bone's not a
understand
dad.
the
You know,
dad joke.
Okay, I just pulled this one up right here. Did you guys hear the one about the rude turkey?
No.
It was a jerky.
That's not bad. Yeah.
I've heard better.
I've heard a lot better.
I've heard better. I've heard worse.
When have you ever heard a dad joke that was like, it's pretty good?
Yeah. No, you're right. The most you get is like, all right, okay, all right, that wasn't bad.
The most I get from my wife is just shut the F up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's dad jokes. Mm-hmm. That's what happens.
Yeah. Alex, are you focused?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all.
Yeah, this is.
You guys did that on purpose. Nate, did you pay them under the table?
Never.
All right, here we go, Alex.
What do we got?
Your category today is football.
Oh, son of a nutcracker. Football. All right.
Question 1. By the way, each question's worth 2 points. If you ask for the options, those questions become worth 1 point. All right, here we go.
How'd Nate do?
Marshy?
Oh, yeah, pack a lunch.
Oh, shoot. Okay, here we go.
Question 1. Out of the 4 teams that Brett Favre played for in his NFL career, which team did he play the fewest games with?
Ooh. Give me the options. Because I got 3 in my head, and I think I'm missing the 4th one.
The Atlanta Falcons, the Minnesota Vikings, or the New York Jets? So the 3 non-Packers teams.
I'm going to say the Atlanta Falcons.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Question number 2. Lamar Jackson won the NFL MVP last season with 493 vote points. Who finished second in voting with 152 vote points?
Patrick Mahomes. Final answer.
All right. Question number 3. Clemson has lost twice this season. They lost to Louisville and which other team back in week 1?
Oh, crap. Give me the options.
Georgia, LSU, Texas.
I think it was Georgia. Yeah, Georgia. Final answer.
Question number 4. What is the highest Alabama ranked at any point this college football season?
I'm going to say the highest they were ranked was shoot 5.
Final answer?
Final answer. Number 5.
All right.
Guys, give me a facial reaction or something here.
Let's go over these.
Absolutely.
It's like Stone Buddha.
Nathan versus Alex. If Nathan wins, we'll be back on Monday because we're off the next couple of days.
I won't. I'll be fired from this.
You might be. Yeah. Nathan can celebrate for 4 straight days. Out of the 4 teams that Brett Favre played for his NFL career, which team did he play for the fewest games with? Alex, you went with the Falcons. Nathan, you went with the Falcons. Correct answer is?
It is Anthony Stalter's Atlanta Falcons.
But Nathan did not use the options. Nate is up 2-1 today.
You're a daredevil, Nathan.
Alex. Clemson has lost twice this season. They lost to Louisville and which other team back in week 1 of the season? Nathan, you said Georgia. Alex, you said Georgia. Correct answer is?
It is Georgia.
But
Nate did not use the options.
Come on, Nate.
Sorry.
He's got a 4-2 lead.
Trash.
Over Alex.
We'll take it.
Lamar Jackson won the NFL MVP this season. Last season, with 493 vote points. Who finished second in voting with 152 vote points? Alex, without the options, you went with Patrick Mahomes. Nathan, with the options, you went with Christian McCaffrey. Correct answer is...
Oh, this team stinks. It's Dak Prescott.
I would have absolutely went with Patrick Mahomes.
I completely forgot about Christian McCaffrey, though. I mean,
I forgot about Dak having a decent year.
Yeah, that's true, too. If I would have heard the options, I probably would have gone McCaffrey as well.
So, 4-2, Nathan with the lead comes down to this. What is the highest Alabama ranked at any point this college football season? Now, Alex, you did not use the options. That's vital because you said 5.
Yeah.
Nathan went number 1. So if you're right with 5, we've got ourselves a walk-off. If Alabama ranked anywhere from 1 to 25, but not 5, Nathan's going to win today. Nathan.
You have chosen wisely.
Correct answer is...
Number 1.
Number 1. So, Nathan, you got 5 points to Alex's 2. Congratulations. It's going to be a happy Thanksgiving for you and the fam as you're going to celebrate for the next couple days, man.
Yeah, and my daughters don't have to hear her favorite song. Not today. Ha, 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 ha.
Oh, your daughters like that one?
Yeah, they do.
Okay, well, hey, you won. Congratulations. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll call you back on Monday.
Sounds good.
Good stuff,
nice
Nate.
Job, man. Nice job.
Good job,
we'll see
Nate.
you, buddy. Thanks for listening. Thanks for playing.
Thanks for sending Alex to the penalty box.
Thanks for making me have a terrible Thanksgiving, Nate.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to eat dinner now.
I got to do what I got to do.
I know.
All right, Alice, you're going to go to the penalty box.
I didn't know there was a penalty box.
Yes, it's that.
I got to go sit over there?
You got to go sit over there. It's a new rule.
Wow.
It's awful.
Really?
You can barely hear
All
over
by
there.
myself.
It's awkward.
Oh, my gosh.
You'll be there for one segment.
Do I take my headphones?
You can take your headphones. Okay. Yeah, they'll barely work. It's weird. You'll see when you get over there.
Bye, guys.
We'll have our NFL Week 13 pick'ems. We'll have Week 15 in a couple of weeks. NFL Week 13 pick'em picks, which are coming up. Maybe some potential upsets this weekend in the National Football League. We'll get to those next on 101 ESPN.
Get ready to pick 'em. It's the Fast Lane Football Pick'em Challenge on 101 ESPN.
Refreshed by Bud Light.
Well, you sure know how to pick 'em.
Andrew Marsh, I'm Anthony Stalter. Alex Ferrario is back in the penalty box right now. We can barely see you, Alex. How's it sounding back there?
This is awful, guys.
Isn't it?
I feel like a loner right now.
It's hard to hear. It is. You're on an island.
I don't have
but
internet.
It's a punishment.
That's true.
It's a punishment for losing the Gauntlet.
I feel like this was that time I lied when I was, 9, 10.
You're right back there.
31 years old, and you get put in the penalty box.
Exactly.
Did you ever have to stick your nose in a circle on a chalkboard?
No.
What?
Wasn't that a thing?
No,
I had to stick it in a corner.
Nah, they just beat us mercifully.
With a ruler?
Yep.
Catholic school, Stalts?
No.
That's where I went when I was younger.
Italian?
Yeah.
Okay, that one matches too. Never mind.
Oh, yeah, we got a couple of Italians in the room.
That's right.
Hey!
Tommy DeVito style, huh?
Yeah. What about that, huh?
All right, boys. Bears, Lions tomorrow. Anybody see the Lions being upset?
No.
Me neither.
No.
Giants, Cowboys. Anybody seeing the Giants and aforementioned Tony DeVito?
Drew Lock, though, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
DeVito and the pride of Central Michigan, Cooper Rush, both questionable for tomorrow.
So now you're going like coach versus coach, you know?
I got the Cowboys winning this
I do
one.
too.
I don't trust the Giants. The Giants are a mess.
Yeah. I mean, when you've got your young wide receiver, your defensive lineman, and I think there was another player that was like, yeah, we don't know what the hell we're doing when we're on the field. Yeah, kind of going to be out on your team.
Yeah. Now, Marsh, you did give some thought to the Giants.
I did, yes. When we were in the office doing our picks, I was like, man, I could see it happening. The Cowboys being embarrassed on national television on Thanksgiving. It's their day. They always play on Thanksgiving. They would absolutely lose to the Giants, and it would be hilarious. But I don't have the Gavin Stones to do that, so I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys.
Nice. I would have said Mark Stones to go with it.
Yeah, but I don't like that guy.
Yeah, and he wouldn't have been available probably for the rest of the Pick'em Challenge. So
No, I wouldn't. All right, Dolphins, Packers.
I go Packers here.
Did you go with the Dolphins, Marsh?
No, I went with the Packers.
Okay, yeah. Here's the thing with the Pack.
The Dolphins in an outdoor
It's
game.
gonna
when
snow,
outdoor
too.
Cold. Yeah.
7 o'clock start.
So the actual temperatures are below freezing, but it's
Yeah.
going to feel about 20. Yeah, it's still pretty damn cold.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't like the Dolphins in that situation. Chiefs, any upset this weekend?
No.
Like Christmas Day last year?
No, I don't buy it. I
Chiefs
don't
or the
buy
Raiders.
it. It's Aiden O'Connell. I think I'll take the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have the Chiefs.
I got the Chargers beating the Falcons.
Well,
Falcons coming off the bye.
Did that hurt?
Chargers? No, not at all. Chargers are. I love my team, but I know what they are and I know what they aren't, and they're not a winner this Sunday. They're a 6-6 team after this weekend.
Yeah.
So Chargers.
I also have the Chargers. Yeah.
Bengals Steelers. I was tempted to take the Bengals, but Mike Tomlin, as a dog, coming off a loss, extra rest, all of that. And I think the Bengals had their bye week last week, so they're coming off 2 weeks. Nonetheless, the Bengals, very interesting, kind of exciting team at times. They haven't figured out how to win games. And even in games where they won. They didn't really, you didn't feel like they were in control outside of like the Raiders matchup, right? When everybody controls the Raiders. So give me the Steelers.
Yeah. I originally was thinking the Bengals, but the more you look at it, I don't think the Bengals defense can get stops. And even if I don't trust the Pittsburgh Steelers offense, whether it's Wilson or Justin Fields, I think they can win low-scoring games more than the Cincinnati Bengals can. So I'd say the Steelers.
I'm going with the Bengals. Season's on the line. I just feel like a loss like last week could end up like pushing the Steelers back a little bit. I don't think that they'll miss the playoffs by any means, because Mike T is still their coach. But I feel like I could see them going on a little bit of a losing skid. And I think the Bengals, it's basically a winner go home type game for them.
Sure.
And they're at home. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase are going to be hungry. So I'm going with the Bengals this week.
All right. I got the Texans over the Jaguars, but it's more about the Jaguars than it is about the Texans.
Does it change your opinion that it sounds like Trevor Lawrence might play?
I don't think so. I know it's a divisional game, and Houston's coming off the loss to Tennessee. I don't trust the Texans, but the Jaguars they're dead men walking. They gave up weeks ago, so give me the Texans.
Yeah, I would go the Texans as well. Texans have been a team that I have just been so afraid to bet with a spread because they've screwed me like 4 times this year in our pick'em that we do. But I would still go the Texans in this one straight up.
Yeah, I think Joe Mixon's going to have a big game. If you like throwing money around, maybe 2+ TDs this week for Joe Mixon.
Wow, 2+ TDs.
Marshy.
Speaking of Marshy's, Vikings are hosting the Cardinals. I'm going to take the Vikings in this one. It'll probably be a tight game, but I mean, the Cardinals mustered only 6 points last week. They've been a different team on the road than at home. Give me the Vikings.
Yep, I'm the same way. Vikings. I think the Cardinals are going to start falling back down to earth the further we go into the end of the season.
Yeah, it's a good week for the Cardinals to get a victory on the road.
Reverse jinx.
Yeah, I like that, Marsh.
I'll be rooting for my Vikings this weekend, but it wouldn't shock me if Kyler Murray breaks that mirror that Jamie keeps saying is full of smoke. Give me the Cardinals this week over my Minnesota Vikings. Wink, wink.
Okay, there you go. Patriots and Colts. I'm gonna back Drake May and the Patriots.
Same.
The Colts, they look lifeless too.
Yep.
2 weeks ago they looked okay because they're playing the Jets, but I know the Patriots aren't very good. I actually think the Patriots at times have looked okay under Drake May.
Mm-hmm.
This will be one that I regret.
I don't think you will, though. I go the best quarterback in these types of games because really no other area has an upper hand. I think both defenses are average. I think both coaches aren't that great. I go to the quarterback. And in that front, I think Drake May's been the better quarterback this season and most recently.
There you go.
I'm going to go with the Colts just because I feel like I'm playing with fire with some of these matchups. And, I have no room to pick another underdog.
Okay.
Essentially. So I'm going to go with the Colts.
All right. I got the Seahawks over the Jets.
Yeah.
Jets coming off the bye, but they're the Jets. Total dysfunction.
Yep, I'm the same way.
The Commanders have not played well. Titans coming off a win, but I still got the Commanders in that one.
Yeah, I got the Commanders. The Titans are so inconsistent for me to look at that and say that I could go with them. So nope, I would go the Commanders.
I thought about this one. Thought about it for about 2 minutes, which is kind of long. Give me the Commanders.
Bucks over the Panthers.
Bucks.
I'll say aye.
Yes, aye.
Rams Saints.
I got the Rams here. I still don't trust Derek Carr. Now, I know they played some good football lately, picking up some wins. I just think if it's going to go offense versus offense, I will take the Rams any day of the week.
Yeah, I'm going with the Rams, but, man, it'd be a damn shame if Taysom Hill went off again.
You got him in fantasy?
Yeah, 3 leagues.
Wow, 3 leagues. Picked him up.
Picked him up after people dropped him or did not have him on the team, and I'm making a playoff push right now, and I need a tight end, Schoonemaker or whatever his name is.
He caught a touchdown last week for Dallas.
He did. I don't know if he's going to play this week, and I don't like the Thursday. I don't like the Thursday. Okay. I already have too many Thursday players. I don't need another one.
That's smart. That's smart fantasy football mindset right there.
I got the Rams too. I could see the Saints.
You don't trust it, though.
I could see the Saints winning, but that bubble's got to burst again soon. Like you're not a good team. They got they're done with the new coach bump. Yeah. This is Jim Montgomery's not the Saints coach. Give me the Ravens over the Eagles in what is shaping up as the game of the week.
I took the Eagles in this one. I really like the Eagles. Yeah, I don't think the Ravens defense can stop the Eagles offense.
Yeah, I'm going with the Eagles. I think it would be disingenuous of me to put them in my top 3 in my Stalter Stackup and have Baltimore at 5 and not pick the Eagles to beat them. So
that's fair.
Going with the Eagles.
Give me the Bills over the 49ers. The 49ers, I don't know what the 49ers are a shell of themselves right now, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, mine was Bills on this one. Pretty easy pick. It was a 7-point spread.
Yep.
I would take the Bills no matter what. Straight up.
Marsh.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bills.
And give me go ahead.
I was just going to say, if I see the 49ers walking onto that field with their boombox again and get blown out, it's not going to be a good look. Yeah, it's not a good look. And it's, we want to talk about snow. There's literally a snowstorm. People will be, it's probably going to be one of those things where the Bills fans don't even sit in their seats. They just kind of stand in the snow. Mm-hmm. They just stand around. That's what it looks like right now.
All right, and give me the Broncos, my number 10 team in the Stalter Stackup over the Browns. Jameis Winston not going to win 2 games in a row.
No, Jameis Winston's not going to be able to handle that defense, regardless.
No.
Yeah, no, the Broncos are winning. Okay. We did get a text, though, from the 314. Looks like we got a dad joke from the 314. What side of a turkey has the most feathers?
What side? I don't know.
I don't know either. They didn't put the answer.
They didn't put the answer?
No, that's the
backside?
I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait till next segment.
You can't send dad jokes if you don't give us the actual answer.
Come on, give us the hook. All right. Is this it? No, we got 6-pack. That's right. And we're going to get Ferrario out of that.
Yeah, please. Can we get out of here?
Box. All right. If you got a question, send it in to the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Sports Six back next.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues take on the New Jersey Devils tonight, and you can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Alex Ferrario, who is joining us right now in the Fast Lane, he'll be on Blues pregame. It starts at 5. Puck drop is at 6. If you missed anything from today's show, including our interview with Jincy Roese of the PWHL, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Schaefer Door Company 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page, and you'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. And it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We have our Sports Six-Pack coming up next, so get your questions into the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. Six-Pack coming your way next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is brought to you by Paramount Men's Medical Center. Suffering from ED or PE? Your first treatment is free at ParamountMen'sMedical.com.
All right, time for the Sports Six-Pack here on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Alex Ferrario, who will have the Blues and Devils pregame at the top of the hour, joining us right now. I'm Anthony Stalter, and here is Andrew Marsh.
The outside.
Yeah, is the answer. That's the answer to the turkey dad joke.
A
little rough.
Yeah.
But the texter also said, hey, flat out, it's not good.
Well, no, that was a different texter.
Oh.
Yeah, different texter with a same answer, but then said not a good dad joke. And I feel bad because, we appreciate all dad jokes, some aren't as good as others.
That's like that.
People are trying.
That's like that joke from your Uncle Dave at Thanksgiving. And you're like, try again, Uncle Dave.
Yeah.
Like, it was good. Appreciate jumping in.
Sure. Or let me grab another beer, and then I'll listen to that.
Yeah. Must not have had enough beers yet.
Yeah. Yep. The 314 said, my family told me to stop telling them Thanksgiving jokes.
No, you be you.
But I couldn't quit cold turkey.
Okay,
he got you, Stoltz.
Should have saw that coming.
Yeah, he got you, Stoltz.
I was going for the uplifting message, and they got me with the old dad joke.
You're right, too, though. Don't ever stop dad jokes. Just you fell right into that trap.
I did. I certainly did.
Question number one.
All right, from the 254, do you guys think with Monty being the coach now changes the timeline for when Dalibor Dvorsky gets called up?
No. I think Doug Armstrong said it best in that press conference. This doesn't make Dalibor Dvorsky an NHL player, just like it doesn't make Jimmy Snuggerud an NHL player right now. They said with Dvorsky, we are not going to make the same mistakes that we made with Jake Neighbors in terms of rushing him to the NHL because it was a need and him not being ready. He's going to stay in the American Hockey League post-trade deadline. They'll see what he looks like. They'll evaluate it from there. They were without their number one centerman for 4 weeks, and they didn't even think about calling up Dalibor Dvorsky. So if that's not going to call him up, Jim Montgomery's not going to make him call him up.
There you have it.
Question number two.
This one comes from the Waterboy and surprisingly doesn't have anything to say about the Gridiron Guys podcast. The question is, are you guys going to check out the new documentary coming out this weekend? It's called Moana 2.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw the first documentary. It's phenomenal. The kids really liked it, too. It's Alex, I know you've seen it as well. It's a story about basically not listening to your parents and listening more to your wise grandmother, even though she's putting you in harm's way.
And actually calls herself crazy.
Yeah.
I thought the documentary was about a crab that had things stolen from him.
It's part of it, but I think the main story is don't listen to your conservative, do-nothing father who's scared because of his past and break free from that.
Jeez.
Live your own damn life, almost die, but then save your countrymen and women.
Nice. Guess I won't have to watch the first documentary anymore.
Thanks for that, actually. Yeah. I'm actually thinking
that's just my interpretation of it.
So the second documentary that's coming out,
I actually don't know what it's about.
I don't either, but my daughter, 3 years old, Adelaide, she loves the first one, and so we're trying to debate as a family, is 3 too young to take her to the movies?
We took Madeline to, I think, the latest Toy Story, with like the fourth one.
The fourth one?
I think she was 3.
Okay.
I think we took her on her birthday and she was 3.
How did it go?
She was good. Yeah, she sat there the entire time.
Yeah, because Adelaide, she's very involved with the movies when they're on. Like, she'll watch them at home. Mm-hmm. We think if we give her snacks, she'll be good, but
that's key.
I'm the one that's like internally thinking like, oh God, everybody hates me because I'm bringing a 3-year-old to a movie theater.
No, especially if you go to see a documentary like Moana too. Yeah, you'll be fine. Yeah, cool. 3's good.
I actually have tickets to go see that documentary called Wicked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I saw the theater version of the documentary. Wicked. Yeah,
phenomenal.
Interesting. I didn't know they made theater documentaries.
Oh yeah, they make documentaries for anything.
Wow, documentaries are always better on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Question number 3.
All right, this one comes from Carrot. This Carrot won't stop complaining that we haven't asked this question, but we are going to right now. How long before Middle Eastern oil barons start buying baseball teams like they did with soccer teams and start dumping their unlimited funds into them? It's an interesting question.
Probably next year. I would say ETA 2025. March of 2025.
Any specific reason for March of 2025? Mm-mm. Okay. I'm on board with that.
I may or may not have been told information. Definitely I was not. But yeah, March.
Inside scoops. Yeah. Stalt scoops.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Question number 4.
Asked and answered.
From the 636, I haven't listened to everything today, but what is your guys' thoughts on Daniel Jones in Minnesota? Sorry if you've already talked about it.
No, that's okay, and I appreciate you phrasing it that way as opposed to some texters, and you know who you are, texting in saying, hey, why aren't you guys talking about this? Idiot. And we already did 2 seconds.
Why are you talking about things that happened years ago?
Right. Yeah.
And maybe it's not even meant for our show.
No, maybe it's meant for TMA. Like it's extra yesterday. No, Marsh hates it. What I said was, for Daniel Jones, I think it makes a lot of sense. And good on Daniel Jones. Don't know how many offers he had. But if it was an offer of potentially, hey, I can get right back on the field right now, or I can learn from a coach that's actually going to that has had success developing quarterbacks in the past, I'm going to go there. And I know Brian Dable had some success with Josh Allen, but Josh Allen's also one of the top quarterbacks in the league. Sam Darnold, nobody had him as one of the top QBs in the league coming into the year, and look what Kevin O'Connell has done with him. So I think it was good for Daniel Jones to go there. I think he's an upgrade, slight upgrade over Nicky Mullins, although Marsh disagrees with that vehemently. So it just depends on who you ask on this.
I personally thought it would have made sense for him to go to Dallas because upgrade over Cooper Rush, and if you're him, you can try and reset the market for half of a season.
Cooper Rush went to Central Michigan.
Sorry, buddy. Fire up chips, but woof.
Thank you.
Am I right?
This
isn't 2 years ago, Cooper Rush.
He had an okay game last week.
Okay, absolutely. Daniel Jones had an okay career. And he needed to fix that. And CeeDee Lamb was there for him. But
he had that one good year. That's for sure.
It's true.
I saw a tweet today, or an X post. It was something like, oh, man, I can't believe those New York fans have to deal with Julius Randle and Daniel Jones. Thought that was funny.
Julius Randle and Daniel. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, it was good.
Now they're both in Minnesota.
And they were in New York.
Yes.
/ New Jersey.
Question number 5.
From Grant Francis Fan Club, can we retire the Blues are bad because Petro left excuse? Absolutely valid pre-2023 trade deadline, but I don't see how having Petro today would have saved the Blues from having to rebuild their forward group.
Well, I think it's a fair statement, but I do think that the domino effect was already in place there. That's why we continue to bring it up. If you go back, everything then, I mean, you're looking at several moves that were made post Petro going to Vegas that has led you to this point. So it's a little hard to remove that. I agree it shouldn't just be an excuse, but it is a reason why you're currently trying to fix some things after letting Petro walk. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, you're not talking about your defense being bad this year because you've got Philip Broberg.
Yeah.
Last year we were talking about the defense still being better, but still bad. The year prior it was bad. I mean, Petro he covered up a lot of warts for the team in terms of power play, penalty kill, 5-on-5 in your own zone. but the trickle down, the butterfly effect of it, right? Like Alex Pietrangelo, probably you don't bring in Justin Falk if you get the deal done early on, which means you've got that money that could have been allocated maybe to a forward at another position. So I don't think you're ever able to retire that, because when you trade away number one defenseman, then you start searching for that next number one defenseman, and it took them about 7 years to potentially find one in Broberg.
Question number 6.
This one comes from Thanks Dad. Hey, just tuned in. Why aren't you talking about college football rankings? Well, we did earlier in the show. Guys,
Well done.
once the final college football playoff ranking comes out, which matchup is like your ideal first round matchup? Like, oh yeah, this is what we've been waiting for.
Ooh, wow, that's a really good one. Is there a current example that we have here?
Like Penn State, Notre Dame, I think would be good.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to generalize it to a certain degree. I want to see an SEC school have to go into a Big Ten,
that's a good
frigid
point.
environment. I want to see a Southern team, because we always get like the bowl games and everything. They're played in warm weather too. I want to see like Tennessee have to go into
Penn State
or something.
That was Brett McMurphy's his first round matchup. It was Tennessee at Penn State,
because I don't think Penn State is good.
Yeah,
at least relatively speaking. But Penn State, Happy Valley, with Tennessee having to go there, that might be a different story. So I'm looking forward to one of those matches.
And I like that, because the narrative is, the SEC could beat up on half of these Big Ten teams. That's what a lot of people were saying with Indiana. They shouldn't have been ranked that high, because an SEC team would have been able to beat up on Indiana. Let's see it. Let's see it in the first round matchup.
Honestly, are any of these teams actually good? Other than the top two?
I think they're good.
They're not great.
They're not great.
Gotcha.
And that's the difference, right? Like, I understand where you're coming from, Marsh. I agree. None of them are great. Oregon's not a great program right now. They're not a great football team, comparatively speaking. I don't think Ohio State's great. They're the best of the best, and I think all the other teams are very good.
Yeah, I wonder if we just look at it, this is the most exciting college football season since I've been alive.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't necessarily think that these are the best college football teams. I think it just happens to be entertaining because so many of them are not great football teams.
Right.
But if you put them up against teams from the past, I think they'd get smoked.
Yes, I agree with that. I mean, some of these Alabama teams under Nick Saban.
Oh, yeah.
Or like the Clemson Deshaun Watson years.
Or the LSU Tigers with Joe Burrow.
Oh, God.
Yeah. None of these teams would stand a chance.
You're donezo.
Yeah.
So, fair statements there, Marsh. All right, speaking of Marsh, he does have a commanding lead in Bet the Board.
It's no.
I also still have my parlay. So I'm going to put together a little parlay to see if I can pull off what would be the greatest comeback in sports history. We'll also do criticisms and compliments and 3 stars of the day next on 101 ESPN. Well, it is the holiday season now. We got Thanksgiving tomorrow, and if you're somebody that wants to take a little cash out to make sure that everybody in your house has a great holiday season, then call my guy Stewie, 314-324-4440. He'll have ways for you to access the cash that you do have at your disposal. Do it in a way that's going to save you over the long haul. Get that loan in place, or maybe you're just looking for your dream home. Maybe you need to move, and you need to operate quickly when it comes to getting the loan done, the process done quickly, and to the closing table as quickly as possible. Well, Stewie can cover that too. He's got the bagel loan. Bagel loan, if you're borrowing $200,000 or more, you qualify for the bagel loan. No closing costs, no lender fees. Call around. Ask if other companies can waive their lender fees or waive the closing costs. They might laugh at you, right? They may say, nobody does that. Stewie does that. So whether you're dealing with some debt that you want to clear up, you want to take out some cash for the holidays, or you do want to get that loan done for a home, Stewie's your guy. Google the bagel loan, get that phone number. He's Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation.
NMLS number 226715.
If you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast, available at 101ESPN.com or your Schaefer Door Company 101 ESPN mobile app. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. All right, bet the board. Last day. Andrew Marsh has been commanding us all month long after hitting that parlay to start the month off. Marsh, you're up by 3, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I do have my parlay left. I have to assume that Marsh is going to hit whatever play he's going to give us right now. So that means I got to put together a 5-teamer.
Oh, baby.
Which I'll unveil here in a second.
Are you ready for mine?
Ready.
David Montgomery, 50-plus rushing yards at -145.
Okay.
That doesn't make you feel good, does it?
I think he's questionable for the game tomorrow.
I got to assume that you're going to hit it. So that means you'd be up 4 on me. So here's my 5-teamer. You ready? Give me Indiana -29 against Purdue. I think they're going to beat the brakes off these guys, and they know they need to win big so that the committee has no doubt that they're in the playoffs. So I don't love them delaying the 29. In this case, I'll do it. Give me the Chiefs -13. Everybody remembers the Christmas Day upset when the Raiders did their thing and they get the Mahomes rules and blah, blah, blah. The Raiders hung with them a couple of weeks ago. They will not on Friday. Give me the Chiefs -13. Give me the Chargers -1 over the Falcons. That's an easy one. That's a layup. Give me the Ravens -3 over the Eagles. Hopefully they don't push because this could collapse. And give me the Steelers +3 against the Bengalis. So that's my 5-teamer. to try to get one up on Marsh. All right. Marsh, you got criticisms and compliments? 3 stars, whatever you want to do.
We'll just do 3 stars because we got to get to Blues pregame. Our third star of the day goes out to Alex Ferrario's dad jokes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Glad somebody appreciates them. Suck it, BK and Tanner.
Ooh, wow. Ouch.
Second star of the day goes out to Jincy Roese.
Yes.
Pardon me. Her response on what it means to be a captain.
Awesome stuff there. If you missed it, again, check out the podcast.
And the first star of the day in the 636 put it best. Colin Brown for number 1 star of the day. Prayers to the family and may he rest in peace.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Awful story. And our thoughts certainly go out and prayers certainly go out.
Blues
too.
are wearing a pin for him today, too.
Oh, great.
All the coaches are going to be on the bench wearing one.
Excellent. All right. Hey, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you so much for being a part of our 101 ESPN family and the Fastlane family. Everybody be safe and have fun out there. We'll see you back here on Monday. We will see you.